And good afternoon to you. Welcome to high school football action on Central Illinois Sports, live from Calhoun High School for this Class 1A quarterfinal between the 10-1 Calhoun Warriors and the 10-1 Camp Point Central Panthers. Alongside Jack Hull and Bob Ray, I'm Charlie Hill. Thank you for joining us on Central Illinois Sports and the Great Rivers Bank pregame show. A rematch of what was one of the best games of the season, and a chance again for these two teams to match up in the playoffs as they did a year ago. We'll talk more about the matchup on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show after this.
Go team, go! Great Rivers Bank has a digital banking app worth cheering for. Move your money, pay your bills, deposit your checks. Hooray! Hooray! Set up a budget, manage your debit card, set up account alerts, and so much more. Our digital banking will give you a reason to stand up and cheer for banking. Learn more at greatriversbank.bank. Great Rivers Bank is an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Logan Agri-Service, we understand your success starts from the ground up. That's why we've been your trusted partner in agriculture since 1962. From top quality seed and cover crops to fertilizer, crop protection chemicals, and petroleum products, we have you covered. At Logan Ag, we take pride in providing you quality products at competitive prices with service that exceeds expectations. Call us today at 1-800-LOGAN-AG or visit loganag.com.
Gobble, gobble. I'm Casey French with Cascom. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and your house is going to be full of family, including in-laws and kids. You might just become the turkey if your Wi-Fi, or whatever the hip lingo the kids are calling it, isn't up to par. Call Cascom today and sign up for our gig services for only $99.95 a month for 6 months. Already a customer? Upgrade for only $109.95 a month. Dads who want the game as a side dish, you're welcome. Call today, 1-800-252-1799. And we thank you for trusting us with internet, cable, and phone all year long. Thank you from Cascom.
Your friends at Little Jess Motor Company are proud to sponsor today's halftime show. When you think of Black Friday? Well, the biggest deals of the year, of course, and it's no different here at Little Jess. We've saved the best deals of the year for our Black Friday sales event. Right now, we're offering an unheard of 13% off our 24 Jeep Gladiator Nighthawk and get it for just $39,800. Save $5,000 on the new 24 Jeep Compass Latitude Lux and get it for just $29,000, and save up to $12,000 on the new 25 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Bighorn. Hurry in, because deals like these only happen once a year and only at Little Jess. Serving the Tri-States first.
Kate Marable, real estate broker with Hometown Real Estate, would like to say good luck to all area teams and hopes everyone has a successful and healthy season. When you're in the market for a new home or would like to sell your home, be sure to call Kate Marable. Kate is a lifelong resident of the area and has experience in first-time home buyers, FHA, USDA, and VA loans. Call Kate Marable at 217-370-9809. That's 370-9809 for Kate Marable and Hometown Real Estate.
Welcome back on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show on Central Illinois Sports. Beautiful afternoon for high school football action live from Calhoun High School as the Warriors and the Panthers are matching up. And Jack, if you would have told me after seeing the jerseys from the Calhoun young people a week ago, this field would be in as good of a shape as it is, I would have told you you're crazy. But man, oh man, it looks great here in this quarterfinal matchup.
Yeah, they talked about coming out here on Sunday and how much better it looked than they expected it to even then, because they said between the 30s it was just a mud pile all the way through. And I don't know if they painted that mud or what they did, but it doesn't look too bad right now. But I go back to Deer Creek, Mackinac, when Calhoun won their first of two back-to-back state championships. On the side, it didn't look too bad, but when I walked across the field afterwards, Bob Larnigan and I said, man, this is a hog lot. It's nasty out there. So seeing might not be believing today.
Bob Ray alongside. And Bob, we always like these sunshine days compared to that rain we saw a week ago.
Oh, we do. It feels so much nicer when the sun's out. The wind's kind of very calm here too, Charlie. So it's going to be, 52 or 53 degrees at kickoff, and a pretty good afternoon for mid-November at quarterfinal action.
A little bit of a later start time than originally intended for this game. That's because of the success of the Calhoun Lady Warriors winning the Class 1A Volleyball State Championships, and we wish them, or congratulate them on just a tremendous season. They got really, really hot when it came to postseason, Jack, and were pretty dominant all the way through, winning the state championship match in straight sets.
Very blessed to have their coach sending me scores throughout the season and statistics and things. That's a well-oiled machine, and they did that with Lila Simon moving to Pittsfield, who would have been an integral part of that too. And we congratulate those young ladies in this community on another state championship. They've won it in softball, they've won it in basketball, and now in volleyball. Pretty impressive, and another WIVC state champion.
This was a quarterfinal matchup last postseason. These two teams played in week 2 of the regular season, and it was a game that went right down to the wire.
Well, wire, end zone, call it what you want to. The officials for today's game, who are from Glen Carbon, Edwardsville, said, well, what'd you think about that touchdown at the end? And I said, well, I've watched it about 50 times, and it was close. Whether he got in or not, the official threw his hands up, so he got in, and everybody moved on from then, because that's a lot of weeks ago, Charlie. But what a game. 2.4 seconds left. Calhoun got it done. Jack Webster put it through the uprights with his foot, and the 14-13 victory.
An exciting game, and we expect that here this week as well, as these two teams match up. Quite honestly, in the matchups between these two squads over the last year or so, each one of them has been unique, but they all have been good contests.
Yeah, I like the predictions of everybody, like any of us really know anything. The only prediction is after the game, we'll know exactly who wins and who loses, but you will not find finer young men than are on these two teams anywhere in the state of Illinois. And I know you all got great kids, but you know, Charlie, you and I have watched these kids from Calhoun because Tim played baseball against the seniors. We watched these Camp Point Central kids grow up. They're just good people.
You got a lot of good kids from a lot of good families on both sides of this matchup here today. And, you know, this type of success doesn't happen without supportive communities, and both of these school districts are really blessed to have the type of community support that they see in every single thing their young people participate in, and we're excited for them and their programs here today in this quarterfinal matchup. The winner will play the winner of, well, it's Bubba Lawtough, folks. They're going to win. Today,
they already won. They're winning 48-0. That's
yeah, it's if it hadn't been an official final, it's as close to a final as it's going to get, and that could be a rematch with Camp Point Central, or it could be Calhoun playing that opponent for the first time. Either way, we would be rooting for the winner of this game to win that game, obviously, as WIVC, kind of an important conference in our local region, and the best of the WIVC North and the best of the WIVC South matching up here today in this quarterfinal. Camp Point Central getting ready to take the field. Calhoun already out on the field with their warm-ups here today. We'll step aside on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show. Talk more about the matchup after this.
Cedar Lake Campground has been owned and operated by the Kramberg family for over 50 years. Located off of Highway 24 between Coatesburg and Camp Point, Cedar Lake Campground is a quiet family campground that you're sure to enjoy. With 60 RV spots with water and electric and our 5-acre lake, it's a perfect spot for a weekend spent fishing, spending time with family, and enjoying the great outdoors. Find out more about Cedar Lake Campground on Facebook or call 217-455-4602.
Here in Pittsfield, we're focused on maintaining a healthy, diverse economic base to increase opportunities for our residents. Economic factors greatly affect a community's overall potential, and we strive to continue our prosperous culture. The availability of both commercial and industrial employment centers and new lucrative entrepreneurship opportunities are major assets for growth and development here in Pittsfield. In addition to providing employment and income to people, Pittsfield also boasts several tax incentive districts to further facilitate economic growth. Examples of growth and success can be seen throughout Pittsfield. Pittsfield is located within Pike County and widely known for the abundance of white-tailed deer, and is also home to companies that have capitalized from the region's natural resources. Located over on Madison Street, Whitetail Properties is a major local and international employer that truly embodies the local and economic spirit of Pittsfield. State-of-the-art communications and telecommuting are available here. Be sure to catch their televised series throughout the week on the Sportsman Channel. Come grow and be a part of something great in Pittsfield, Illinois.
Before I started at DOT, like a real low point in my life, I just lost my house and I just wanted something to get myself back on my feet. I met a driver named John and he was like, man, come to DOT. They'll pay for your school, they'll pay for your CDLs. I applied and ever since then I've been very grateful. Since I've been here, I had the opportunity to save money to buy me a home within the next couple of months. It's definitely been great. When my life needed direction, I took the wheel.
Are you planning on building? Let Pike County Lumber help. Whether it's big or small, we have everything you need. We carry all building materials like siding, roofing, cabinets, decking, doors, and windows, just to name a few. We also have plumbing and electrical supplies along with tools. From building your shop, your brand new home, or kitchen and bath remodel, Pike County Lumber is here to help. We're family owned for 3 generations. Pike County Lumber. For all your building needs, come see us in Pittsfield.
Welcome back on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show with locations in Pittsfield, Berry, Liberty, and Hannibal. Great Rivers Bank serving the region with the best in banking close to where you live and always online at greatriversbank.bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Both teams 10-1 on the season. Camp Point Central's loss coming to this Calhoun squad 14-13 in week 2. Calhoun falling to Carrollton in a WIVC South matchup 10-0, but you know, Jack, you take a look back all the way back at that Week 2 matchup. These two teams are very, very different than they were at that point. Camp Point Central was obviously playing a lot of new guys, and Calhoun had some key pieces who were out with injuries who are now back, and it's good to see both of these teams at full strength here in this quarterfinal matchup.
Yeah, Patrick Friedel was not playing. He had broke his leg in the summertime. By the way, he'll be wearing number 36 instead of 3 today, if you're looking for him on the screen. The Camp Point Central offensive line, other than Summey at center, was playing their second varsity game. They only played about a half of the North Green game because they graduated so many people off the offensive and defensive line. So now those kids have 10, 11 games under their belt. Makes a big difference. We also saw Nate Peters go down in the second quarter with a high ankle sprain, and he's been back for a while. Curtis Riggs is healthy now. And Calhoun appears to have stayed pretty healthy throughout the season other than Friedel.
This has been a special group for the Calhoun Warriors and one that they've kind of had circled as these kids have come up throughout the ranks and what's a really, really solid program, by the way, all the way from the JFL side of things through the junior varsity and into the varsity games. Really give a lot of folks credit for the continuity that you see across the program, but this senior group is a special one. Big class, some kids that have been playing multiple years, and just a tremendous mix of athletes.
Yeah, when you look at this group of kids, they have a pretty good group of seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. 40-some strong is their entire roster. But this group of seniors, like Camp Point Central's 13 seniors, are the core for everything.
Should be a good matchup here today. Sun's still shining. Of course, it'll set behind the bluff here in just a bit. A little bit cooler. The wind is blowing from the left to the right here today, and we'll have to see if that impacts anything. Both teams with good kicking games. These are two really, really well-rounded squads altogether.
Good coaching staffs, guys that have seen success. You know, never forget that the coaching staff of Aaron Elmore and Casey Longnecker, along with J.D. Lorton, won state championships. J.D. Lorton was the quarterback the first year. Casey was the quarterback the second year. These guys have had lots of success over their careers playing and coaching. And then you got guys like Brad Dixon and Casey Ray, who I don't know if anybody could outwork them in their preparation for things, along with Casey Monroe and the Griffin boys and that. These programs in these communities are blessed to have the people working for their kids.
Yeah, teams don't get to this level by accident, right? I mean, there's a lot of preparation that goes in, and these games are kind of I don't want to say the easy part, but, man, a lot of the work that went in started right at the end of last season has helped prepare these teams to arrive here in the matchup here today. Both teams out on the field warming up in preparation for today's quarterfinal matchup. About 19 minutes away from our kickoff. We'll step aside on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show. Back with more on Central Illinois Sports after this.
You've tried it, I've tried it, everyone needs to try it. Sugar and Smoke, 1258 West Washington in Pittsfield. Open Wednesday through Saturday at 11 a.m. Here's what others are saying. This place is fantastic in every way. Pulled pork, pulled chicken, brisket, ribs on the weekends, the best green beans, appetizers, nachos, pony shoes, pork burgers, celebrating 1 year in business. Sugar and Smoke, it's time to eat. Yum! 217-922-0067.
At Westtown Ford in Jacksonville, Illinois, we have Mavericks, we have Rangers, we have F-150s, 250s, and 350s. If you need help with that perfect look after your purchase, I'm Corey Grinke and I Know Trucks. Come see me at Westtown Ford in Jacksonville, Illinois.
Griffin Signs and Time at 122 South 9th Street in Quincy is a full-service sign company that can complete any project, from fully wrapping your entire fleet of vehicles, digital signs, storefronts, to creating small banners and signs. The right and professional signage is the difference of getting the job, heading folks in the correct direction to find you, or creating a brand recognition for potential customers. Put the right signs in your customer's mind with Griffin Signs and Time. Call 217-228-7470.
Beard Implement Company, your local Case IH dealer, proudly serving farmers since 1937. We know how important it is to keep you running. 4 convenient locations in Ashland, Arnsville, Pittsfield, and Hannibal, Missouri. Beard Implement Company, our people, your advantage.
Are you short on time or budget, but your family is hungry? It's time for the Maya Authentic Mexican Restaurant in Pittsfield. Try the Maya Special, a crowd favorite. Delicious grilled fajitas, steaks, nachos Mexicano, salads in a tortilla bowl, the tastiest salsa and cheese sauce around, and the fastest service anywhere. You can afford it. It's the Maya Mexican Restaurant on Washington Street. Call ahead with your order and you can pick it up in the drive-thru, 217-285-4526. The Maya Restaurant in Pittsfield. Helena Agri, Camp Point, Illinois, is a proud sponsor of the broadcast of Central Illinois Athletics. For all your seed, fertilizer, and chemical needs, the experts at Helena Agri, Brian Obert, Dustin Roskamp, and Matt Hughes, are the guys to call. Let them show you the best seed, fertilizer, and ag chemicals to make your farming operation a success. Call 217-593-7761. That's 593-7761 for Helena Agri of Camp Point.
Fans continue to file in here this afternoon for this quarterfinal matchup between the Warriors and the Panthers of Calhoun and Camp Point Central High Schools, respectively. The coaches, captains, and referees are meeting now in midfield to conduct the pregame coin flip and go over some instructions. But, Jack, you could see a big crowd on hand here today with the Calhoun fans. Man, they're on about as high as you can be on right now, with the Lady Warriors winning the volleyball state championship this morning, and now the Warriors football team playing here in the quarterfinal. They're going to have a big crowd as always here in Camp Point Central, always with a good visiting crowd, but you'll see a lot of those other WIBC programs represented here today as well.
Looks like Camp Point Central won the flip and deferred to the second half as they normally do. But a crowd, Charlie, there's some Jersey Panther letter jackets. I saw people from Beardstown, from Carrollton. They'll be here from every place in the WIBC, from the Alton area, Jacksonville area. We even saw a couple people from Pittsfield here. One of them, I think the other must have drove him here, though. I don't know how Tommy would have got here on his own.
And, Bob, I think this was kind of one of the hopes when Camp Point Central joined the WIBC, is to form some rivalries that had been present in a lot of other things. But really, since the Panthers have joined the WIBC, they've been welcomed in and have really added to this conference, and I think elevated it, honestly.
Well, I think the other good thing about that, Charlie, is we've had a lot of consistency in opponents. It's just a great mix with 12 teams, and you have some crossover games to start and conclude the season. You see a couple of teams that you see only every couple of years in a rotation. But you have your North Division and you have some South Division people you see every week. So other conferences we've seen have kind of fractured and fallen apart. This is a very, very strong football conference. We're glad to be a part of it.
A little easier than going to Mendota and Princeton and Sherrard and Orion, too, isn't it, Bob?
Well, Pecatonica, yeah, that was on the list, too, right, Jack?
Yeah.
They're
well, you were in
Too.
Hawaii. You were closer than I was.
Yeah, well, it's a great conference, and there's a lot of great venues in this conference, too. Calhoun, second to none, is the venue, too.
If you've never been here, it's really almost honestly part of the fairgrounds, as the fairgrounds are to one side of the school is to the other side, and you'll see a lot of folks park on the fairgrounds side. And really just beyond on the road that goes down to the junior high, those folks are backed up a little bit as they're paying to get in here today. And you get the cannon. You get a lot of folks who have been used to watching a lot of good football here for a long time. It is a great place to watch a high school football game.
Softball and baseball field are just over the horizon there to the south of us. But, you know, in week 2, it was Calhoun County Fair time, which means it was tractor pull time. And just like the old days of Greenfield and Calhoun, we had a little haze from the smoke of the tractors above the field, but we could still see everybody. But I've been here at times when it was foggy enough you could barely see the players on the field.
We had a live band that night. The Ferris wheel was just at the other end of the end zone. It was a very festive atmosphere, no doubt.
It was.
No band, no Ferris wheel here today, but a tremendous matchup. And when you talk about these two teams, it starts with the guy, it seems like, on either side, both of them recognized as all-staters. Connor Longnecker for for Calhoun, and for Camp Point Central, Elijah Ginnenbacher. And you won't meet any finer young men and harder workers who have worked and positioned themselves physically to hand out the beating that they hand out on a weekly basis.
Brad Dixon would have said, thank you. Give me Connor Longnecker to go with Elijah Ginnenbacher, 2 All-Staters, and then Caden Niekamp, an honorable mention All-Stater. These guys are studs. They're football players. If you look in the dictionary under football player, there's a picture of them. And, Coach Dixon says everything starts with number 33, and Coach Elmore says everything starts with number 40.
Now, 33 last year when he was here in the playoff had a big game. He's now moved under center, and Connor Longnecker had a whale of a game against the Panthers earlier this season, and you're expecting to see a heavy dose of him from the Calhoun Warrior offense.
The Warriors did not turn the ball over at all in that game. Camp Point Central had some trouble between the quarterback and the center and had to make some adjustments on the fly, so things ought to be a little different there. But we're going to see a lot of different sets, and if you remember in week 2, how did Calhoun get the ball down the field? Well, they ran a halfback pass to young Mr. Was it Elmore that was a good, Lane Elmore, or Eilerman, and he caught the ball and got it down to about the 22, and then it was Connor Longnecker time with 2.4 seconds left. They got it in. The Panthers actually scored like on the second touch of the ball game, I do believe. Went a long way on the outside, maybe like Curtis Rigg or somebody in one of those quick guys, and it looked like they were going to get out front, but nobody's going to pull too far away from the other one, I don't believe, today.
Well, it's funny when you take a look at Ginnenbacher having moved to the quarterback position a while back now, pretty well established at that. Did it change the way he had to play the game a little bit on the offensive side? Of course, but I do believe it's funny that I think Brad Dixon won his 135th game at Camp Point Central a week ago, and how many people have so many suggestions on things that he should be doing with guys like Elijah Ginnenbacher. Well, I don't know, Jack. It seems like his track record maybe speaks for itself, and maybe he knows his team a little bit better than some of the folks who don't attend practice every day.
Trust me, Aaron Elmore gets the same thing. When Rick Johns was winning state championships, I'd go across the ferry, and somebody'd say, well, you know what that Rick Johns would just do? And I said, well, if you're tired of him, send him up my way, because we'd take him as a coach any time. We'd take any of these guys because they are top-notch people and great coaches.
It is the Great Rivers Bank pregame show, greatriversbank.bank. Check out those interest rates that continue to fall if you're in the market for a new home. Let the great loan officers at Great Rivers Bank help you find the location nearest you, or reach out to them online at greatriversbank.bank. We'll step aside on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show, talk more about the matchup between the Warriors and the Panthers after this.
Petty Construction and owner Joe Petty, specializing in commercial and residential roofing systems. They design, build new homes and additions and renovations to your home. Interior and exterior renovations are their specialty. Petty Construction and Joe Petty have the experience in building you are looking for. Call 217-779-6384 or on the web at joe.petty@pettyconstruction.com. Building your community one job at a time. When you're ready to restock your pantry, go to Kay's Family Food in Camp Point, Illinois. Open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. through 8 p.m. Be proud, Camp Point area. Kay's Family Food is the only locally owned grocery store in Adams County outside Quincy. Delicious donuts daily, great lunch specials, fresh cut meats, fresh produce. Kay's Family Food are committed to the area and the school. When you support your local store, they can support you and your school and community. When you need to restock, think of Kay's Family Food, 593-6814.
For nearly 40 years, the Niebuhr Funeral Home has been serving our area with professionalism and compassion. This is our business, our hometown. You can be assured we take great personal pride in serving your family in your time of loss. We're locally owned. We're your friends and neighbors. We care about you and your family. Niebuhr Funeral Home, with locations in Pittsfield and Barry, serving our community with compassion and respect.
From competitive youth sports to high school and college athletes to fitness enthusiasts, sports injuries can easily put you on the sidelines. Our orthopedic surgeons and sports medicine physicians are here to diagnose and treat your sports injuries should they arise. Every step of your journey matters to us, and when life throws you a curveball, trust Blessing Health's orthopedics and sports medicine team to get you back in the game. At Blessing Health, we've got you covered from head to toe.
One size fits all. That may be all right for an adjustable belt or cheap sunglasses, but when it comes to your financial needs, no one wants a one-size-fits-all strategy. Derek Harris is your Pike and Adams County area Edward Jones financial advisor. Derek Harris's most important goals are yours. That's why Derek will take the time to understand your needs so he can recommend personalized strategies with your goals in mind. Contact Derek Harris today at 217-222-7173. Knowing you, that's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Stotzi Automotive and Tire, located at 201 Adams Street in Camp Point, Illinois, is your local automotive repair shop. Whether you need an oil change, brake job, alignment, engine repair, or new tires, Stotzi Automotive is here with honest and competitive pricing. Call Reagan and his team today to schedule your appointment. 217-740-5010. That's 217-740-5010 for Stotzi Automotive and Tire.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You've heard that phrase many times. And Rod Prentice in Pittsfield, your State Farm agent, is the guy you can count on to be your friend and neighbor in the insurance business. He has a complete line of insurance available for you from State Farm Insurance. You can reach him at 217-285-6930. Our family trusts Rod Prentice with all of our insurance needs. Stop by their office on Washington Street and see the girls. And Rod Prentice, your State Farm agent, 217-285-6930.
I'm Chris Nichols with PCRE Real Estate and Auction here in Pittsfield. For 15 years now, I've been specializing in selling farmland and hunting properties, along with homes and commercial real estate. Whether it's helping a seller get a premium price out of their home or assisting a buyer to find the farm of their dreams, I pride myself on providing elite customer service. Give me a call today at 217-473-3777 if I can help with any of your real estate needs. Or feel free to jump on our website at pcrerealestate.com.
Back with you on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show on Central Illinois Sports. Getting ready to see the band come out and play the national anthem here in just a few moments at Calhoun High School. And, you know, this time of year, you just never know what kind of weather you get. It's beautiful today, Jack. It'll be a little cooler when the sun goes down, but this is a perfect setting for this contest here today between two good teams.
Scheduled at 2 o'clock, but both teams agreed to move it to 4 to give the Calhoun people a chance to get here after the volleyball championship. So a lot of people have been in Bloomington Normal at ISU and made a long trip, not the football players, and I hated that they had to miss it too. I think the coaching staff from Camp Point Central offered to get them a bus to go to the volleyball tournament if they wanted to, but they were afraid it might break down on the way back.
There's a lot of respect between these two programs, and of course that's completely tongue in cheek. But yeah, I mean, just what a day! If you're a Calhoun Warrior fan, you win a state championship in volleyball, you get a chance to punch your ticket into the semifinals, possibly in football. There can be a lot of big celebrations tonight. They are going to celebrate at the high school right after this game for the state champion volleyball team, so that'll be good to see those young people get that recognition.
Charlie, in a much lesser way, the Central 8th grade boys and the Calhoun 8th grade boys played for the championship of the Griggsville Perry basketball tournament last night. So Calhoun and Central all over the place this weekend.
That's a great tournament, too. I played in that when I was in 8th grade. Well, I didn't play much, but I was on the team. And that tournament's been going on for a lot of years, that little junior high tournament. And it's interesting. We want to shout out to the folks at Jersey's today, the folks at the bowling alley at Bowler's Universe, and our buddies at Straight Home, just up the road, all watching today. And if you're watching us from a venue where you got a bunch of people, send me a text at 217-473-5151 or put it on the chat line. We'd like to shout out to you, too.
Yep. Hopefully everybody's having a good afternoon. Camp Point Central is headed to their sideline. Calhoun going to come out here in front of what will be a big roar, big pop from this home crowd, and should be a good matchup. We told you we already had the coin flip conducted. Central won the coin flip and deferred to the second half, so Calhoun will start with their kickoff return team on the field as we're still waiting for the Warriors to come out of the field house on the, it would be east side, I believe here.
Would be east. You got our sideline camera crew on the sides to give us a good shot of some things too, right?
Hopefully. Oh, they're still awake, it looks like, so that's good.
That's good.
That's a great shot, I tell you. There's not much 1A football action that has these kind of shots, Jack and Charlie. These guys are looking good. Instant replay too, Charlie, today, so You don't get this anyplace else, I tell you.
Well, we are certainly glad to bring the games to the fans who can't make it. It looks like there's still plenty of folks who have attended in person here today, and really looking forward to this matchup. Either way, the winner will go on the road next week.
Yep, they'll go to Belleville Altoff, and a year ago when we went over to Camp Point Central, be honest now, we went there to watch Belleville Altoff and Camp Point Central, and we all were kind of like, well, we'd like for this to happen, but man, we got a surprise, did we not?
Well, they made it happen, that's for sure. I think it was 30-0 at the end of the first quarter, which was, I don't think, anything anybody could have ever predicted, and you just never realize why they play the games. There's a lot of people that make predictions. There's a lot of people that tell you what's going to happen, and then there's the kids who make these things happen, and the young people from Calhoun now welcomed back to the field by a big home crowd with the cowbells roaring and the fans shouting their support of the young Warriors who meet at midfield. And again, just, I don't know if we can overstate it, Jack. The folks that worked on this field, it looks tremendous.
So one of the assistant coaches from Calhoun told me when Sesser left, they went north instead of south out of here, went down an dead-end road that takes you to Aaron Elmore's house and got stuck in his front yard with their chartered bus until 8 o'clock in the evening. It always happens fun in Calhoun,
It is definitely an adventure. I tell you what, the GPS hasn't quite adapted yet to God's country out here at times, and you can end up in some different places. Let's step aside as we're going to have the national anthem. We'll have kickoff action next on Central Illinois Sports.
From bag to field to bin, Prairieland FS is your home for quality seed. We treat it right here at one of our local facilities, deliver it right to your farm, and then provide the propane to fuel your bins. Have confidence in what you're putting in your engine with our energy specialist. They're focused on maximizing power, fuel efficiency, and engine protection to keep you going. We're neighbors serving neighbors. Prairieland FS, your leading supplier of choice.
For the fall sale at your local Farm and Home Supply, we're going to play a game. Can you guess the price? So, men's and women's Noble Outfitters flannel shirts, is it $19.99 or $29.99? Well, it's under $20, but for $29.99, you can get Outfitters jeans. Next up, I got 6-pack bottles of all Pepsi flavors. Is it 3 for $10 or $4? Well, it's 3 for $10. Next up, big bag, 40 pounds of Heartland Harvest dog food. Is it $5 total savings or $8? Well, it's $8 because there's a $5 rebate.
See all these deals and more right now at farmandhomesupply.com.
Great job by the Calhoun Band Club with the national anthem. The Farm and Home Supply starting lineups. Nobody has it like your local Farm and Home Supply. Snacks, hoodies, power tools, lawn chairs, and much more in between. farmandhomesupply.com to learn more. We'll meet the starters for the Calhoun offense once they get the ball on the kickoff. Warriors will be in the black uniforms with the black pants, white numbers, red trim, and the red helmets here for Calhoun as there's the cannon. And the Panthers will be in the white uniforms, the black numbers, gold helmets, and both teams ready to roll here in this one. A lot of nerves, I'm assuming, both these teams, although they've been in the playoffs before, but if you're not nervous before a big matchup like this, Jack, do you really care?
I think excited is probably the right word. They're all excited, and nobody wants to make that mistake right off the bat. I Marco Rodriguez will be kicking off for the Panthers, and his has been a ploy of kicking off to the right spots. Now, the wind was going to be at his back, but now it's kind of blowing more towards us. So he's going to be on the far hash mark, kicking off the 135-pound giant with the foot out there in Marco Rodriguez.
Wallendorf is back deep along with Friedel for this squad. Pat Friedel wearing 36 today, a change in his normal number. Kind of wonder if they couldn't get the mud out from a week ago. It was a muddy mess here at Calhoun. Rodriguez is taking his steps off as the kicking team is ready to go here for the Camp Point Central Panthers, and Rodriguez will put his boot into this one. A high kick, not extremely deep, going to be taken at about the 31-yard line. Ball carrier here is Will Lorton, and Lorton is taken down after a short gain on the return up to the 34-yard line, and that is where Calhoun will start 1st and 10 with 11:55 to play here in the game's opening quarter.
Elijah Ginnebacher ended up with the ball there.
Yeah, but not a fumble, of course. All right, Jacob Snyders will start at the quarterback for this team, 6'3", 160 pounds. The senior here, Pat Friedel in the backfield, a 5'9", 175-pound junior, and Jack Webster, the 5'9", 170-pound senior for this squad. The fullback is a beast, Connor Longnecker, 6'2", 230 pounds, and a senior. Snyder's under center, going to give it to Longnecker on the first carry of the game, running over the left side, up across the 35 to the 37-yard line, a gain of 3 yards on the play to bring up a 2nd down and 7 yards to go.
Evan Walker, Jasper Flessner from the linebacker spots on the first tackle on the play from scrimmage. Charlie?
2nd down, and they call it a very short 3, didn't they? Almost a 2-yard gain on that play, we'll call it. 2nd and 8 for Calhoun. Snyders is under center, the double wing formation. Puts a man in motion from the left to the right, hands it off. No, going to keep it himself on the option play. Puts his head down and runs over the would-be tackler and is taken down near the 43-yard line.
Cale Niekamp comes up from his safety spot to tackle the quarterback. That'll be an important spot for Cale today to make sure he plays assignment football.
6-yard gain on the play. It'll be a 3rd down and 2 for the Warriors here in the early part of this matchup.
Snyder's played very good the first game, had a nice run there, and he and Niekamp collided right off the bat.
Clock counting down here in the opening quarter, 10:50 and counting. Snyder's calls the line set, puts a man in motion, hands to the motion man. Coming around the right side is Jack Webster, and he has no room this time, taken down back near the 41-yard line, a loss of a couple yards on the play. And this will bring up a 4th down and 4 in what you would consider to be a punting situation for Calhoun, but let's wait and see.
Zach Weir comes in from his inside linebacker spot and read that play, Charlie, and got a, what are we going to give him, like a 2-yard loss on that play. Nice job by Zach Weir. Caden Niekamp cleaning it up, too.
Coach Aaron Elmore is not going to make the same mistakes people did the last couple of weeks and go for this right off the bat. I'm not going to tell you he's not going to fake, but Jack Good will be the punter.
Jack Good's a junior, 6'1", 175-pounder, good athlete, and they'll run the little rugby kick. He'll kick it high, but this one's not going to go very far. Headed into the sideline, into the stands, and we'll have to see where they mark this ball officially. It's not going to be one of Jack Good's best kicks of the season, but it'll be the 42-yard line for Camp Point Central with 9 minutes, 58 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Central will have it on the offensive side after this word from Dot Foods.
I love training. I like to help people improve on their tasks. Dot Food has been providing everything for me. They just treat you so well. When my life needed an opportunity, I chose Dot.
Here come the Panthers on the offensive side for the first time today, led by senior quarterback Elijah Ginnebacher and a host of other characters as well, as we see Bush in the backfield at the fullback spot. Ginnebacher takes the snap, hands it out. That's Niekamp this time around, was it not? Short gain on the play. In fact, the ball did not come out. A little extra dive on the play. Gain of a yard on the play to the 43. 2nd down and 9.
Both teams play with a 5-man front. They usually go with a 3 or 4-man front. Calhoun showing 4, but they're sneaking a linebacker up there. And big boys on each side, and the offensive line on each side's got their work cut out for them today.
74, Luke Brannon makes his first tackle, and he's going to be a tough one to handle all day, Charlie.
Double wing formation for Camp Point Central. Ginnebacher under center here. Puts Peters in motion, going to pitch it outside to Niekamp, looking for the edge, cuts it back upfield. Going to be taken down just across midfield, close to the sticks. A gain to the 49-yard line is what we'll call it there, and a gain of 7, call it 8 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a third down and short from the Calhoun 49.
Don't want to blow it short or blow it too quick because Caden Niekamp carries people with him, as does Ginnenbacher and Longnecker.
Will Lorton was in on that tackle along with a linebacker number 10, Jack Webster.
Niekamp does leave the game right now, so Bush will be back there at fullback.
3rd and a yard to go here for Camp Point Central, just past midfield. Ginnenbacher going to keep it himself. Stood up but keeps the legs moving. He'll have the first down as he's wrestled down near the 47-yard line. Needed 1, gained 2, and Camp Point Central with the first down of this affair.
Comes at the 8:39 mark. They did not stop the clock to move the chains. They kept right on the ticket.
8:30 and counting in the opening quarter, and what should be a quick contest. Not going to see a lot of balls in the air here this afternoon. Sun is setting. It'll be behind the bluff here in about 25 minutes. Under center is Ginnenbacher, puts Peters in motion. Hands to the fullback this time in Niekamp, or was it Bush? It's Connor Bush this
it's Connor
time.
Bush.
Bush to the 45, a gain of 2 yards on the play. 2nd down and 8 for the Panthers.
Boy, those fullbacks are just disappearing in the pile of the tacklers, aren't they not?
There's a lot of big bodies up front.
Yeah, there's a lot of heavy-duty upperclassmen in the line of scrimmage on both sides. Yeah, we ought to recognize, too, Charlie, Jaden Summy, our 2-year starter at center, who's making every play start.
It definitely is important to have that good quarterback-center exchange. Ginnenbacher takes the snap, makes the handoff, keeps it himself on the left side. Has a good gain and looks to have the first down. Close to the sticks, down to the 37-yard line. And that'll be enough for a 1st and 10 for the Panthers on an 8-yard run by Elijah Ginnenbacher.
Second first down of the ball game. Panthers started on their own 42. Now at the 7:30 mark, they've had the ball for about 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
1st and 10 for the Panthers, keeping the clock moving here. Ginnenbacher goes to the sideline for the play call. Break the huddle here with 12 seconds on the play clock and the double wing formation. Peters the wing back on the left-hand side here. Let's see if they try to get him involved. They'll hand it off to the fullback in Connor Bush. Bush will be taken down near the 30-yard line. A gain of 7 on the play on a solid 1st down run. It brings up a 2nd down and 3.
Bush a little smaller than Caden Niekamp, so fairly easy to pick it up there. Bush will go off the field, and I would think Niekamp would come in here.
Niekamp such a valuable player for this squad on the defensive side. An honorable mention All-Stater, but quite honestly, show me who's better on the edge in the state of Illinois at this or very many levels, and I would probably have a pretty good argument with Caden Niekamp on the other side. 2nd and 3 here. A little delayed play, and Ginnenbacher will fight forward for a short gain to the 29-yard line. A gain of a yard on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and 2.
It was kind of an awkward get off the ball in that line of scrimmage, wasn't it, Jack?
Yep, it was a little bit different that time, but good job by the defense ripping things across the middle. That 4-man front, they don't let the linebackers get involved much on those first runs.
You see big Luke Brannon right in the middle of that defense. He's a 6'3", 225-pound senior wreaking some havoc up there along with Charlie Matthews. 3rd down and 2 yards to go here for the Panthers. Peters in motion. They'll pitch it outside to Niekamp. Gets a lead block from Ginnenbacher. Has the first down. Runs through a tackler. Still on his feet down near the 14-yard line. Pick up on the play of 15 yards by Niekamp on the 1st and 10 on the biggest play of the day for either offense.
Nice job by Caden to make one tackler missed, and he took 2 people out himself, but he had a good lead block from Braden Humbert for the first opening.
You better tackle him because he'll keep on trucking all the way to the end zone if you don't.
Not a lot of teams use their quarterback as a lead blocker, but Elijah Ginnenbacher's not like a lot of guys.
Caden Niekamp was not running the ball much when we were here in week 2 either.
Panthers will come out of the double wing formation on a 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Calhoun's defense looking to get a stop here deep in their own territory. Handoff is to Bush on the right side. Good carry on the play. Down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. A pickup of 9. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 1.
Jack Weiss that time. They're running behind Jack. Jack made a couple good blocks for good space for Connor to run through.
Getting good yardage on 1st down is a key for every team, and so far the Panthers have had good luck with that.
2nd and a yard with under 5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. As on the move is this Camp Point Central offense. Niekamp is in the backfield in more of a wishbone formation. this time around. Under center is Ginnebacher. Hands to the deep back. Cut back to the middle and Niekamp, and he is going to be
Nate Peters, I think. Nate Peters, I think, Charlie. We'll make sure. Yep, Nate Peters.
Peters on the run. It's a 4-yard touchdown run at the 4:31 mark of the first quarter. And Camp Point Central strikes first in this one on a good drive that takes just a little over 5 minutes off the clock. So Peters on the carry for the touchdown.
We have Marco out here to kick the extra point. There was a lot of kicking the first times we met, sometimes good, sometimes missed, but Marco's going to kick here today, Charlie.
Rodriguez has a good boot, as does Friedel on the other side of things for these programs. And the kick is up. It looks to be long enough, and it is good. An early lead for Camp Point Central, 7-0, 4:31 to play in the first as you watch it live on Central Illinois Sports.
Your Jeep, truck, and SUV are only as good as the tires and rims they run on. On or off-road, go full throttle.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
4:31 to play in the first. A lead on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard for the Central Panthers on top of the Calhoun Warriors. A 10-play drive that started at their own 42-yard line and capitalized on a touchdown run by Nate Peters to put the squad on top for Camp Point Central. Here's the kickoff by Rodriguez. Again, a high kick headed right towards the sideline and will roll out of bounds as Frieda will let it roll there. And will Calhoun make him kick again, or will they take the ball with the penalty? Coach says what? He says we'll take the penalty, I believe, here, Jack, is what we're going to see.
Going to take the ball at the 35, is that what you're seeing?
I believe so. I don't see that they're going to try to make them re-kick. Do want to remind you about our friends at Bowler's Universe. They're open Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Fridays until midnight, Saturdays 4 to midnight. Always a good time with the great lunch specials each day as well at Bowler's Universe.
Calhoun's quarterback Snyder's reminded the official that, hey, set that up on the 35 for us after the out-of-bounds call. So
we'd really like the ball a little
Heads-up
farther
play.
up. Thank you. Jacob Snyder's a good all-around athlete for this squad, and he's lined up under center here. Puts a man in motion. He'll keep it himself as he runs the option. Pitches it outside, and look, here's some running room down the sideline for Jack Webster. He's got the first down all the way to the Camp Point Central 45-yard line. 20-yard pickup on the play, and Calhoun with their best play from scrimmage.
First down of the ball game for the Calhoun Warriors, and a really nice pitch on the option by Snyder's. They ran that so well against the Panthers in the first-round game. Did not run it much during the season, but he ran it to perfection there.
Really good job. Made the defensive man make a decision, and once he did, he had the pitch. And Webster, of course, a dynamic athlete for this squad. Both teams very, very deep. They'll hand it off this time. No, Snyder's will keep it himself as he fakes the handoff to the fullback. Gets a short gain on the play to the 43-yard line. 2-yard pickup. It'll bring up a second down and 8.
Snyder's got hit hard there and a little slow getting up as he comes over to get the play.
Nice stop by Zach Weir from his linebacker spot on that play. And you're right, on the play before, we didn't have enough defensive spots covering that pitch play, and Calhoun took advantage.
Second down and 8 yards to go for the Warriors. 3:33 and counting into the first in Panther territory here. In the double wing formation, Snyder's under center. Let's see if they get to Longnecker here. Now they draw the Panthers off sides, and Calhoun giving Camp Point Central a taste of their own medicine with that hard count. 5-yard penalty will bring up a third down and 3. Second and 3. Second and 3.
Nice job on that play, getting the Panthers to jump off sides. Each team uses strategy to try to get that. Really not a lot of motion by Calhoun to make it happen, whereas the Panthers come from one of the wings to do that.
Second down, 3 yards to go from the 38-yard line for the Warriors. Snyder's again is under center. Calls the line set, puts a man in motion in Webster. Going to hand it to him on the belly on the right-hand side. He is going to be stood up and taken down. Forward progress near the 36-yard line. A 2-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a third down and a yard to go.
Elijah and Zach in on that stop, Charlie. I think I feel like every play has been run towards the press box side of the field so far by the Warriors.
I want to make sure we can see everything well.
They want to know where Caden Niecamp's at all times. That's a lot of teams.
3rd and a yard here in 4-down territory for the Warriors as Snyder's calls the line set, takes the snap on a no count, Longnecker right up the gut, churning forward for a Calhoun first down. 4-yard pickup on the play for Connor Longnecker, and it's a 1st and 10 for the Warriors.
Just his second carry of the ball game, and another first down for Calhoun, their second of the day at the 2:20 mark as the clock ticks down. 7-0 Panthers on their first possession. Calhoun trying to answer right here as they start on their own 35, and they're in Panther territory inside the 35 the other way.
Really solid response so far by this Calhoun offense, taking the ball and driving it right down the field. Snyder's will hand it off to Pat Friedel. Friedel looking for the edge on the left side. Gets a good block out in front by Webster. Friedel tries to turn it up. Penalty flag flies around the 29-yard line. We'll have to wait and see what that's about.
Usually that'll be a hold, and it will be a hold from the point of the infraction, which that came at about the 27-yard line, I do believe. Call it the 28. So it'll go back to the 38-yard line. So it's 6-yard penalty, actually. I mean, it's 10 yards, but it's 6 yards of lost yardage.
1st and 16 is what it should be here from around the 38-yard line.
So does Friedel get 2 yards on that?
I don't know how he would. In fact, they move it back to the 39.
Huh.
So it's about 17 yards to go here.
Yeah.
First down still.
Penalties when you're driving can be very costly. Let's see how Calhoun answers on this.
Warriors come to the line of scrimmage with 1:45 and counting in the first quarter. Snyder's under center. Line comes set together. They put a man in motion. They'll hand it off. Nope. Snyder's will keep it himself on the left side. Pulls and runs down the sideline. Gets back across the original line of scrimmage down near the 30-yard line. 9-yard pickup on the play by Snyder's. And a nice job to set Calhoun up in a 2nd and 9.
He had Wallendorf out there too, so great option with a lot of quickness on either one. And Snyder's doing a great job putting his shoulder down and making it happen.
Called officially a 2nd and 8 for the Warriors with just over a minute to play in the first. We told you it'd be a quick game once it got going, as both of these teams keep it on the ground for the most part.
Wallendorf off the field right now, along with Will Lorton, who was in there earlier.
Friedel, who did not play the first time these two teams played, is in motion. They'll keep it with Snyder's again. Snyder's will get it down inside the 28, near the 27-yard line. A pickup of 3 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Zach Weir again coming forward for that tackle, but guys, quarterback Snyder's is the runner of the game so far, right, Charlie?
Really doing a nice job of putting his head down and getting that extra yardage too. So Friedel comes off, Webster comes off, Wallendorf back in, and Will Lorton back in the game. Might they be looking to throw the ball here with Wallendorf in the game?
20 seconds to play in the first as the Warriors break the huddle on a 3rd and around 5 yards to go from the Camp Point Central 27. Put a man in motion. Hand it off to Longnecker along the left side. No, the quarterback Snyder's kept it himself, and he's tackled after a short gain to the 25-yard line. And this will bring up a 4th and 3.
Evan Walker with that tackle from behind the line of scrimmage, Charlie.
That is going to wrap it up for quarter number 1. We head to the second with Camp Point Central on top of Calhoun, 7-0.
It's time to be thinking about tax planning. You can count on Illinois FBFM for accounting, consulting, and tax preparation for farmers and businesses in Pike, Brown, and Adams County. Phone 217-593-7233. That's 593-7233. Illinois FBFM can take care of your farm accounting needs. Get your accounts in order for this tax season. Contact Jesse Shootman, Emily Matthews, and Kaylee Fessler. Illinois FBFM in Camp Point, working for you.
GSI grain bins are built using the highest strength steel available. This allows you to store more grain to maximize your profitability and efficiency. Buy one now and receive our winter discount program. Mixer Lumber Company, your GSI grain bin dealer.
A big play on the first play of the second quarter coming up here as the Calhoun Warriors will have it 4th down and 3 yards to go from the Camp Point Central 25-yard line, trailing 7-0 on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard.
Quick first quarter, as Charlie told you it would be. A lot of running plays, no passing plays. And here we going. 2 first downs for Calhoun, 4 for Camp Point Central.
Ball's at the 25, Charlie. The line of gain, 22.
Obviously, our sideline camera showing you a little bit of a preview from the Blair Witch Project 2 coming out in theaters this Christmas. 4th and 3 yards to go. They go with a hard count here. Snyders is in the pistol. Puts a man in motion. Bad snap. Snyders has to pick it up off his shoot-ups. In fact, that's not Snyders. That's Jack Webster. And Webster is going to be tackled for a 1-yard loss. Back to the 26-yard line as they lined Webster up at the quarterback, tried to run the Wildcat. And there was a bad snap that started that play off in a bad way. And Camp Point Central will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Jace Wallace comes in from the near side on that one. Charlie snuck through there, and Jace has had some really important plays for the Panthers during our playoff season.
Big thing is both these teams can eat up an entire quarter taking the ball down the field if you don't tackle the ball and cause a turnover. And a 7-0 lead for the Panthers right now. Last week, low scoring here. Just 2 scores for Calhoun and 1 for Sesser.
Under center is Ginnenbacher in the double wing. He'll hand it off along the left-hand side. Is that Rigg trying to get the corner or where?
Curtis Rigg, I think, Charlie, on the edge. I saw him lined up on the near side on this wing. I think it's Curtis.
He'll take it to the 29-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on first down. Brings up a 2nd down and 7. Rigg is a guy that's battled some injuries throughout this season.
Been healthier in the last 2 weeks. He's a guy that can turn the corner and make it hurt, but that's probably one of the shortest first down plays the Panthers have had so far today.
See Connor Longnecker come off the field to get a little break here, and as he's playing both ways.
7 guys playing both ways for Calhoun. I do believe the same for the Panthers.
Ginnenbacher under centers. The Calhoun sideline recognizes something they're shouting out there. They hand it off to Bush. Bush up the middle, up to the 35-yard line. A solid gain on that play of 6 yards on the run, and it brings up a 3rd and 1.
24 yards for Bush on 4 carries. 3rd down, 1 play here. Under 11 minutes left first quarter.
It's close to 2, maybe 1.5, 2 yards. Either way, it's from the 35-yard line, and a key play here early in the 2nd quarter. Now will Central try the hard count. Ginnenbacher puts a man in motion. In Peters. He'll return him to the left wingback position now. Looks to the sideline for the play call from Casey Ray, the offensive coordinator. Now Rigg in motion. They'll hand it off to Bush. Bush has stood up right at the line of scrimmage and turned backwards. Not going to get enough for the first down here. About a half a yard short. And it'll bring up a 4th down for Camp Point Central.
Boy, good pressure by the Warriors defensive line that time to get not only at the line of scrimmage but forward.
Merle Forsyth beats Q&D in a battle, 22-21 final. The Trojans beat the Raiders.
Sangamo County gets a victory over the Central State 8. How about
the Sangamo Conference, anyway.
Yeah,
I think
Sangamo
Monroe
Conference.
is a little north of the Sangamon County area. It's 4th down, and Camp Point Central surprisingly setting up to go for it here from their own 35-yard line. Ginnenbacher will take the snap. He'll hand it off on the left side. That's to Niekamp, and he'll have the first down. A dangerous and maybe a little risky play, but it worked out for the Camp Point Central Panthers this time up to the 42-yard line. Gains 5 yards on the play, and it's a 1st and 10.
Did not want to give the ball back. 29 yards for Niekamp on 4 carries, 5th first down. And that's a dangerous one, the way they stood Bush up on that last play.
That was a little quick hitter that time. Caden had another burst, I felt like, from the back.
But they saw Longnecker on the sidelines, and they went right to the spot where he's been playing on defense.
Double wing formation on a 1st and 10 from their own 42 now for Camp Point Central. Ginnenbacher takes the snap, back to pass, has 2 men deep downfield looking for Peters. He's got it connected into the Calhoun Warrior territory down to the 35-yard line. Pick up on the play of 23 yards and a 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
Nice toss by Elijah. He took the snap, surveyed the field, found his man, and threw the ball out there right in front for Nate to run underneath it. A great execution by the Panther receiver and quarterback.
We have seen that connection work quite a bit in the postseason. 8:57 and counting here in the first. Under center is the quarterback in Ginnenbacher. Hands it off the left side. That's to Niekamp. The big fullback stretches forward, is just shy of the 25 to the 24. A gain on the play of 10 and a 1st and 10 for Camp Point Central. First down plays on back-to-back plays here as the referee says move the chains, and they will.
Surprised me a little bit, Charlie. That was a 9-yarder, but they stretched it to 10.
Yeah. They said the nose of the football made it to the 25-yard line, so that's why they gave him the first down.
Jack Weiss, an offensive lineman, helping push Caden forward for that last important yard.
This started at the 26-yard line the other way.
Central's fullbacks look quick today, much quicker than I feel like they have been in the last couple of weeks. Kennenbacher takes a snap, hands it off to Bush this time on the left side. Not as much success here as he'll take it down near the 23-yard line. 2-yard pickup on the play for Connor Bush.
4-down territory, just over 8 minutes left in the half. 7-0 Panthers knocking on the door again.
You know, what does it mean, do you think, that Brad Dixon and Casey Ray decided to go for it? 4th down and a solid yard and a half to go. I mean, I think that's a lot of respect to what they know that Calhoun can do to eat up clock with their offense.
That's respect, totally.
2nd and 8 from the 23-yard line. Hand off. Now Kennenbacher keeps it himself. Kind of a broken play here. He stood up and takes a beating down there as the Warriors swarmed the ball this time. Down to the 20, maybe the 22, I think, is what they'll mark it. Called the 23. That's no gain on the play. And it'll be a 3rd down, about 7 yards to go. So give them a yard, Jack.
Yep.
Kind of a broken play there, though. I don't believe that was what was intended to be run by Central.
Defense really sneaking up there, Charlie. A little quick hitter to a guy like Nate Peters or possibly Bachhold, that tight end that they found open a few times this year.
Central line comes up and comes set. Kennenbacher surveys the defense. He puts a man in motion. Hands it off. No, keeps it himself. Left side. He's going to be taken down to the backfield. Taken down. Longnecker in there. Webster in there as well. A loss of a yard on the play. Back to the 24-yard line, and it's 4th and 8.
Might they try to kick a field goal here? Marco Rodriguez started out, and then they pulled him back.
4th down, and it's closer to 9.
It'd be 24 plus 10, 34 plus 7, be a 40-yard field goal. That'd be a tough one. We tried to kick one here in week 2, and we missed it. That was important. But it looks like maybe we're going to try a 4th down play here, Jack.
Well, and you look at the Panthers here, Calhoun really stepping up. They knew how important it was to make those last 2 defensive plays, and they made them.
Central has converted on a 4th down play already in this series. This time they put a man in motion. They hand it off along the left-hand side. Try a halfback pass. That ball was popped up in the air, and it's an incomplete pass, and it'll be a turnover on down.
Who threw that pass that time, Rig?
Tate Eichen.
Eichen. So it was 6:07 to play in the half. Calhoun's defense gets a stop, and they'll take over from their own 24-yard line. Looking to make a drive here and try to tie this contest up. What a game so far.
What
Just
a nice
over 6
job.
minutes, and everybody's got all their timeouts left, so plenty of time for a long drive for the Warriors.
1st and 10 from the 24-yard line for the Calhoun Warriors, who saw their drive stall out deep in Camp Point Central territory at the 26.
Well, 2 big plays by the Warrior defense to stop Elijah is what halted that drive, Charlie.
Man in motion is Webster. They'll hand the ball off to the fullback this time. And not much there to the 25-yard line, it looks like. Again, of a yard of the play by Longnecker. 2nd and 9.
Took a pretty generous yard on that because he got stood up right on the line of scrimmage, I think. Nope, solid on the box.
After that play, Caden Niekamp and Luke Brandon exchanging pleasantries.
Webster and Friedel come out of the game.
And I think they were a pleasant conversation. I didn't mean that.
Drew Wallendorf back out there, and he's always dangerous, along with Lane Eilerman. You got to watch both those guys on a possible pass.
2nd down and 9. Snyder's under center once again. Puts a man in motion. Ian Lorton hands it off on this side of things. That's to Wallendorf. Wallendorf looking for running room and takes it across the 30 to the 31-yard line. A pickup on the play of 6 yards. And it'll be a 3rd and 3.
I think Wallendorf came up with about whatever grass they replaced over the weekend. I think he took a big chunk out of it with his helmet. He's actually taking his helmet off so he can see.
Dangerous runner right there if he gets loose. Who got that tackle on the outside?
Jace Wallace over here, Jack.
It's closer to 4 yards to go here as the nose of the football is just past the 30-yard line.
Watch the hard count.
3rd down. 4:40 and counting in this first half. Calhoun puts a man in motion. Snyder's hands it off to Longnecker. Longnecker fighting hard for yardage. He'll get up to the 33-yard line. A 2-yard pickup on the play. And now decision time for...
Well, they waved that as a 1st down too, Charlie.
Oh, my goodness.
Holy cow.
So 1st and 10. Needed 4, picked up 3 for the first down. 1st and 10 with the clock rolling here from the 34-yard line.
I had trouble following your math on that one, Charlie.
3rd first down of the ball game. Longnecker with 10 yards on 4 carries now.
Sometimes, as they say, Bob, the math isn't mathing. Snyders parks Zappa signals, keeps it himself on the quarterback keeper. He runs over a would-be tackler and stretches out to the 39-yard line on 1st down for a 5-yard gain.
Our cornerback, Colton Cooley, comes up for the first hit on the quarterback. That's a tough spot for our corners and safeties to read that option.
2nd and 5 for Calhoun. Under 4 minutes to play in this first half.
Snyder's 27 yards, 6 carries from the quarterback. Haven't seen many quarterbacks against the Panthers with positive yards this year.
As Bob pointed out, both teams with all 3 timeouts, so still some time here. Would you maybe see Calhoun trying to go to the air on this play on the 2nd and 5?
Had luck with a halfback pass before.
Snyders puts a man in motion in Friedel. Hands it off instead of the big fullback in Longnecker. He'll get it up across the 41 near the 42. 3-yard pickup on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and about 2 yards to go.
Big play right here with 3:15 and counting. We'll be at the 3-minute mark or less when they come out of the huddle. Into the game comes Will Lorton and Wallendorf. Out of the game now. Webster came out maybe?
Wyatt Vandevelde led the tackle on the prior play jack assist Evan Walker.
It's 3rd and 2 for Calhoun from their own 42.
Has Friedel got 3 on now on this side?
Oh. They'll give it to the fullback. Longnecker bounces off a man, then pushes forward, bullying his way through arm tackles and takes it into Camp Point Central territory to the 48-yard line. 10-yard pickup on the play by the big boy, who just was not willing to go down.
How many yards?
10 yards.
Wow, big carry for him now. Another first down. 5th of the ball game, runs out of bounds, stops the clock. No, the clock's running again. I thought they'd kill it there.
They kept it moving. 2 minutes, 38 seconds to play in this first half. Calhoun on the move with the first set of downs at the Camp Point Central 48-yard line. Single receiver splits out wide to the right-hand side now. First time we've seen this formation as Snyders now shouts out some instructions at the line of scrimmage. Puts a man in motion. He'll keep it himself on the option play. Snyders runs into Peters and Ginnenbacher that time at the 46-yard line. 2-yard pickup on first down for the Warrior quarterback.
Taking a lot of time here, and we're down to the 2-minute mark. Nobody's called a timeout yet with 3 left on each side. Thought maybe Calhoun might, but just a 7-0 ball game, so no reason for anybody to panic here.
2nd down and 8. Quick out of the huddle, though, for Calhoun. As Snyders again is under center. Puts a man in motion, and Wallendorf gives it off to Longnecker. Longnecker puts his shoulder down, spins forward to around the 43-yard line. Another 3-yard pickup on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 4.
And our first timeout, I think, Charlie.
First Adams Fiber timeout. For reliable internet that doesn't buffer, no matter what life throws at you, it's Adams Fiber. Visit followthefiber.net. Timeout was taken by Calhoun, their first of the day, with 1 minute and 36 seconds to play in this first half. They'll have the ball second, check that 3rd down, and it's a solid, man. It's a lot closer to 5 than 4, isn't it?
It is.
I think with this much time on the clock, Charlie, we're already in 4-down territory. Easy picking, I think, here.
1:36 to play in the half as the Warriors come out of the offensive huddle. I would agree. Yeah, you're not going to see any kind of a punting situation on this drive, no matter what happens here. Snyders puts a man in motion. That's Friedel. Gives it off to Longnecker. Runs over a couple of men still on his feet. Into the open field. 25-20. Fan steps out of bounds near the 19-yard line. near the 19, it appears here. So that's a 24-yard pickup and a 1st and 10 for the Warriors.
I thought he had some more yards to get if he'd kept on there. In fact, I thought he might go all the way.
Down to the 19-yard line, went out of bounds. That stops the clock with 1:29 to play in the half. Connor Longnecker's a tough guy to tackle. It's like tackling a refrigerator coming down the stairs at you. Yeah. He's a big, strong kid, and he's worked to get himself in that kind of shape. Snyders takes the snap, keeps it himself on the quarterback keeper around the edge this time. Inside the 15, down near the 13-yard line. Pick up a 6 on the play. 2nd and 4 as we're at 1:18 to play in the half.
Cornerback Colton Cooley comes up to stop the option quarterback.
2nd and 4 is the clock rolling here. Warriors in the huddle on the offensive side.
Big crowd around this field today, guys.
Yeah, they're about 5 deep on this side, following the ball up and down the field. 2nd down and 4 as the fans start to make some noise. Put a man in motion, give it off. No, it's a pitch. It's a bobbled pitch, and it's going to be taken to the backfield by Webster. Webster tried to turn it up, and he's taken down back there by Niekamp. Niekamp makes a big-time play on the fumble recovery by Webster back to the 22-yard line. It's a 9-yard loss. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 13, and the Warriors will be forced to call a timeout. He got some pressure, did Snyders that time, and was hit as he went to pitch it. Webster was there to be able to recover it, but then Caden Niekamp was there, and there's not too many guys to break the tackles of Caden Niekamp.
We credit Evan Walker with disrupting that play on the far side, Charlie.
It was a good play by the defense. We've seen some good plays defensively by both of these squads so far today. Our contest today brought to you in part by Real Net and Twine, located north of Pittsfield across from the airport. Your local headquarters for concrete, lawn ornaments, statues, fountains, and much, much more. Stop by and see Rick and Tracy Real and their great team at Real Net and Twine, 217-285-5013.
Leroy has punched their ticket to the semifinals, beat Galena 37-21 on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard.
So Leroy and Lena in a semifinal. The winner of this game and Belleville Althoff in the other. Timeout was taken on the Adams Fiber timeout. Follow the fiber.net for our good friends at Adams Fiber. Tell you what, folks, they've got speeds for any need that you have for your household. Follow the fiber.net. 3rd and 13. Snyders will hand it off, looking to throw it downfield, open near the end zone. It is picked off. Picked off here by the Panthers. That looked to be Cale Niekamp with the interception right inside the 5 of the 4.
Who threw the ball?
It was actually Friedel that threw it, and Niekamp picked it off with 35.6 seconds to play.
It's a big-time play by the freshman safety stepping up right there at the near the end of the half, Charlie, to not only disrupt the play, but get the ball in the Panthers' hands and stop the drive.
Now Central starts in the shadow of their own goal post. 1st and 10 from the 4. Calhoun looking to get a takeaway here.
I think we're going to take a knee, Charlie.
Ooh, is there enough room to do so? Calhoun now a little short, or they had an extra man. The Camp Point Central Panthers do take a knee, and they're just going to kneel this one out. And we're going to head to halftime in a 7-0 game. I understand what Calhoun was doing there. Obviously needed to try to make something different happen there to pick up some more yardage down there. Really wasn't a terribly thrown ball, but a nice play by Niekamp down there with a big interception of the waning moments of this first half.
2 defensive guys around him there, but the man was going to try to out-jump him. And if that was Eilerman, he's the kind of guy that can do that.
10 seconds on the game clock. Now 5, now 4, 12 on the play clock.
Yep, no more plays to be run in this first half, and we'll head to the Little Jess Motors halftime show with Camp Point Central leading Calhoun 7-0 in halftime stats and more. Your way next on Central Illinois Sports.
Your friends at Little Jess Motor Company are proud to sponsor today's halftime show. What do you think of when you think of Black Friday? Well, the biggest deals of the year, of course, and it's no different here at Little Jess. We've saved the best deals of the year for our Black Friday sales event. Right now, we're offering an unheard of 13% off our 24 Jeep Gladiator Nighthawk and get it for just $39,800. Save $5,000 on a new 24 Jeep Compass Latitude Lux and get it for just $29,000, and save up to $12,000 on a new 25 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Bighorn. Hurry in, because deals like these only happen once a year and only at Little Jess, serving the Tri-States for 7 decades.
Press Yours On You would like to wish all the area teams the best of luck this season. If you are looking to get team shirts or spirit wear for yourself, remember Press Yours On You. We have over 1,400 square feet of retail space, so pop in and see what we have to offer. Decoration methods we offer include screen printing, embroidery, laser engraving, and banners. The Walker family has proudly owned and operated Press Yours On You for over 18 years. Being a small-town business, our goal is customer satisfaction. We would like to thank everyone who has supported us. As always, thank you for supporting local.
The Farmers National Bank of Griggsville, with locations in Griggsville, Mount Sterling, and Pittsfield. Maybe you ask, why choose Farmers National Bank of Griggsville? The answer is simple. Local people, local decisions, and local commitment with local investments. We have many products and services to meet your needs. We invite you to find out more about us. Go to fmbgriggsville.com and explore all the services we offer. Visit any of our 3 friendly locations in Mount Sterling, Griggsville, and Pittsfield today. The Farmers National Bank of Griggsville, local people helping local people, member FDIC. Camp Point Central Sports are proud to have Dear Wester Grain as a sponsor of this broadcast. Dear Wester Grain, there for you for all your grain and feed needs. Why don't you give them a call and check out all the locations of Dear Wester Grain? With locations in Golden, Paloma, Mount Sterling, Clayton, La Prairie, Liberty, Industry, Carthage, and Blandonsville. For more information, call Dear Wester Grain Services 696-4461. That's 696-4461, or on the web at dearwestergrain.com. Damon Plumbing, serving all of Pike County and the surrounding area with quality residential and commercial plumbing services. Make sure you include the Damon guys to get it right the first time. Residential and commercial, new builds, or existing. Call Braden at 217-491-5415 or Doug at 217-617-2318. Damon Plumbing, recommended by our family for your family.
Folks, you are looking live at the 1A state champion Calhoun Lady Warrior volleyball team as they make their way to midfield to be recognized by the fan base on both sides with a big round of applause for this team who won the 1A title in dominating fashion earlier today, Jack, and the first volleyball championship in Calhoun Lady Warrior history.
They were dominant, won it 2-0, won 2-0 yesterday. 2 losses in their entire season. And I think one of them was to Southeastern, actually, who was knocked off by Hartsburg-Emden, if I'm not mistaken. And maybe Quincy Notre Dame, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't have that. But way to go, Lady Warriors. What a job there. Hey, scoring in the first half, it's pretty simple. First quarter, the Panthers at the 4:31 mark, 4-yard run by Caden Niekamp. Marco Rodriguez was good with the kick, 7-0, and that's the scoring in the first half of this one on the Little Jess Motors halftime show. We'll take a break, come back with individual stats and more. Way to go, Lady Warriors, state champions. More comes your way on Central Illinois Sports.
The caring and experienced professionals at Hamilton Funeral Homes are here to support you through this difficult time. We offer a range of personalized services to suit your family's wishes and requirements. You can count on us to help you plan a personal, lasting tribute to your loved one, and we'll carefully guide you through the many decisions that must be made during this challenging time. You're welcome to call us at any time of the day, any day of the week. Visit our funeral home in person or on the web at hamiltonfuneralhome.com. Call 217-593-6517. When it comes to financial planning, most financial companies focus on your income. At Northwestern Mutual, we focus on your outcome. That's why we know what it takes to succeed both on your balance sheet and in your life. It takes the right financial partner who looks at where you are now and where you want to go and design a financial plan to take you there so you can achieve the life you're after today and every day after. Focus on your financial outcome with Northwestern Mutual. Contact Sheila Davidsmeyer today. Her office is located at 311 West Washington in Pittsfield, Illinois, or visit SheilaDavidsmeyer.nm.com. The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hey, Abe. Hey, George. You know what? We love beer!
This election year, be sure to make the correct decision and vote jerseys. Over the last 4 years, we have helped put more money back in your pocket with our daily drink specials and incredible food deals. We have also made steaks great again with our partnership with GJY Beef Company. So when you are making your next dinner decision, make it Jersey's Bar and Grill in Camp Point, Illinois.
Game Masters Outdoors in Quincy is your ultimate destination for game cameras and hunting gear. Discover top-notch game cameras to elevate your outdoor experience. From firearms and ammunition to optics and outdoor equipment, we've got you covered. Enjoy free shipping on most orders. Browse our vast selection of high-quality gear and find everything you need for your next adventure. Visit GameMastersOutdoors.com today.
Welcome back to Hardin and Calhoun High School in the quarterfinal match between the Calhoun Warriors and the Camp Point Central Panthers on the Little Jess Motors halftime show. It's a 7-0 advantage for the Panthers on top of the Warriors, and both teams defensively have made some big stops in this one, Jack, to stall drives by the offensive unit for their opponent. And though neither one has been stopped completely yet here today, pretty good yardage by both teams.
Yeah, pretty decent yardage. We'll tell you about that. Each team with 3 possessions on the day. The Panthers in their first possession went 58 yards in 10 plays, 5 minutes, 27 seconds to get the only score of the ball game. But the Panthers would get the ball on the 26, and the last time on the 4. Calhoun started out with the ball on their own 35, would get it on the 35 again and the 24-yard line, and would have the interception right down at the goal line that would throw it in. That's the only blemish on the day on either side is that interception. And let's take a look first at the Camp Point Central stats on the day. 17 rushes, 92 yards, 1 for 2 passing, 1 for 1 by Elijah Gittenbacher. 23 yards found Nate Peters for that. They have 7 first downs in the ball game. So a total of 115 yards in the first half on offense for the Panthers. On the other side, Calhoun, 22 rushes, 99 yards, 0 for 1, an interception on the passing side of things for a total of 99 yards on the day. Calhoun led in rushing on the day so far by Connor Longnecker. That 23-yard rush put him at 49 yards on 8 carries on the day. Jacob Snyder's the quarterback, 35 yards on 8 carries, 6 yards, 1 carry, Drew Wallendorf. 9 yards for Jack Webster. He's had 3 positive runs and 3 negative runs on the day, and he unfortunately lost 10 yards on that fumble where he picked the ball up and saved the day for his team for a total of 99 yards rushing for that squad. Panthers on the day led so far, 39 yards, Caden Niekamp on 5 carries, 14 yards for Elijah Gittenbacher on 5 carries, Connor Bush 5 carries, 26 yards. 4 yards from Nate Peters on 1 rush, and 1 rush from Curtis Rigg for 3 yards. Passing, Nate Peters, 23 yards. That came from Elijah Gittenbacher. A 5-yard penalty against the Panthers, a 10-yard penalty against the Warriors, and it's a 7-0 ball game here at halftime on the Little Jess Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram halftime show. We'll take a break. We'll tell you about some scores around the state of Illinois when we come back on the halftime show after these.
Sports families, come check out Central Valley Sports, the new facility in town. Located 3 miles south of Winchester at 520 Winchester Glasgow Road. Batting cages, pitching mounds, pitching machines, and more. Open to all ages and skill levels. The facility is available for team rental, individual membership, and family memberships. Be sure to check out the Central Valley Sports Facebook page for more information and stay up to date on individual lessons and camps offered through.
Go team, go! Great Rivers Bank has a digital banking app worth cheering for. Move your money, pay your bills, deposit your checks. Hooray! Hooray! Set up a budget, manage your debit card, set up account alerts, and so much more. Our digital banking will give you a reason to stand up and cheer for banking. Learn more at greatriversbank.bank. Great Rivers Bank is an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Gobble, gobble. I'm Casey French with Cascom. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and your house is going to be full of family, including in-laws and kids. You might just become the turkey if your Wi-Fi, or whatever the hip lingo the kids are calling it, isn't up to par. Call Cascom today and sign up for our gig services for only $99.95 a month for 6 months. Already a customer? Upgrade for only $109.95 a month. Dads who want the game as a side dish, you're welcome. Call today, 1-800-252-1799. And we thank you for trusting us with internet, cable, and phone all year long. Thank you from Cascom.
Every day, banks touch every corner of our lives. They support us when we turn life's goals into accomplishments. Goals like opening a small business, buying a home, planting a crop, having a baby. From your first car to life after retirement, Central State Bank is there for all of your life's milestones. CSB is central to your banking needs. Visit us in Clayton, Kinderhook, Pittsfield, Pleasant Hill, and Quincy, or at csb123.com. Central State Bank wishes all of the teams well on the hardwood this week. Kate Marable, real estate broker with Hometown Real Estate, would like to say good luck to all area teams and hopes everyone has a successful and healthy season. When you're in the market for a new home or would like to sell your home, be sure to call Kate Marable. Kate is a lifelong resident of the area and has experience in first-time home buyers, FHA, USDA, and VA loans. Call Kate Marable at 217-370-9809. That's 370-9809 for Kate Marable and Hometown Real Estate. Cedar Lake Campground has been owned and operated by the Kramberg family for over 50 years. Located off of Highway 24 between Coatesburg and Camp Point, Cedar Lake Campground is a quiet family campground that you're sure to enjoy. With 60 RV spots with water and electric and our 5-acre lake, it's a perfect spot for a weekend spent fishing, spending time with family, and enjoying the great outdoors. Find out more about Cedar Lake Campground on Facebook or call 217-455-4602.
Back with you on the Little Jess Motors halftime show. 7-0 the lead for Camp Point Central on top of Calhoun here at the break. And as Jackie talked about it, statistically speaking, these two teams are even in the first half. The score fairly close. Really nothing that we've has been unexpected in this contest. But tell you what, I don't think you can underemphasize how big of a play that was by Cale Niekamp down inside the 5-yard line with that interception late in that first half.
Well, that big play and the two plays that tackling Ginnebacher for very little gain by Calhoun, and it looked like Camp Point Central was going to have a 2-score lead, and now here just a 7-0 ball game, and Calhoun was within inches of tying it up. And this has been a battle. Now, Camp Point Central will get the ball to start the third quarter on the kickoff, and unless for some reason Calhoun would try like an onside kick or some kind of a turnover, but one turnover in the game, and that's been an interception.
Well, some people probably would say you're up 7-0, but Bob, in games like this where you may only get 2, maybe 3 possessions in a second half, a 1-touchdown lead could be really big.
Well, you're in the quarterfinals, so it's tough to play every game, especially here. And a penalty, a turnover, anything like that can stall a drive. And as Jack said, 2 consecutive big plays by the Calhoun linemen stalled our drive.
Kind of a weird setup in 1A. Altoff wins 54-7 over Casey Westfield. Leroy wins 37-21 over Galena. 40-7, Lena Winslow defeats Gibson City Melvin Sibley. So lots of points by the other people. These two teams, kind of like Central was last year in the championship game, they won it 14-0, and defense still wins championships.
Well, yeah, very, very true. Something that I wanted to point out, you just saw Calhoun come back to the field, and you saw some youngsters down there giving high fives, and you talk about what success in a program can do to help build that next level. Those kids right now, they want to grow up and be Connor Longnecker and Jack Webster and Jacob Snyders and so many of these guys. I mean, those are their heroes right now, Jack. And quite honestly, in small communities like these two teams and programs represent, those are guys you look up to and aspire to be when you're a young person. And, you talk about the
He's been doing calisthenics with him there, Charlie. Look at him. He's stretching
right
alongside. Got a 5th grader stretching with a varsity.
And you make that point. Calhoun won back-to-back championships in the 90s. None of these kids were alive when that happened. So their stars have been guys from a few years later than that. But those guys' stars were people like Jonah White and Charlie Booth, Brandenburg, the Friedel boy that was the leading rusher until Connor Longnecker passed him up. So, I mean, this Calhoun history of football is amazing, and Camp Point Central's built a history in the last 15 years.
Well, the IHSA is doing a countdown of the top 50 teams since the playoffs started. This is the 50th anniversary of the playoffs starting in the state of Illinois, and Calhoun's not on that list. And quite honestly, it's just because of to make the list, you had to have 3 or 4 state championship appearances. This Calhoun Warrior program has as much history as, quite honestly, just about any program in the state of Illinois.
How many people have won it back-to-back with 2 different quarterbacks? And one of those was an ice storm against Sterling Newman. I saw the officiating crew. You have to go on YouTube and watch that one. You can watch the officiating crew try to stop, and they'll slide like 10 or 20 yards down the field trying to stop. The difference, Rick Johns put big cleats in his kids' shoes that day. Sterling Newman came out and played in tennis shoes. Guess what? The old guy, Rick Johns, knew what he was doing.
Both teams have returned to the field. We're just about ready for second half action. We'll pause for our final break, and the Little Jess Motors halftime show gets set for third quarter action next on Central Illinois Sports.
Your friends at Little Jess Motor Company are proud to sponsor today's halftime show. What do you think of when you think of Black Friday? Well, the biggest deals of the year, of course, and it's no different here at Little Jess. We've saved the best deals of the year for our Black Friday sales event. Right now, we're offering an unheard of 13% off our 24 Jeep Gladiator Nighthawk and get it for just $39,800. Save $5,000 on a new 24 Jeep Compass Latitude Lux and get it for just $29,000, and save up to $12,000 on a new 25 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Bighorn. Hurry in, because deals like these only happen once a year and only at Little Jess. Serving the Tri-States for 7 decades.
Camp Point Central won the opening coin toss, deferred to the second half, so they'll be on the receiving side of the kickoff as we get ready to start the second half of play. I do want to remind you about our friends at Pike County Concrete. If you need concrete for your next job or project, give Pike County Concrete a call, 217-285-5548. That's 217-285-5548, with locations in Pittsfield and Jacksonville. They've poured a little concrete over the last few months.
3 teams in Adams County started out in the playoffs today. Notre Dame lost 22-21 as Moreau went for 2 with very little time left to win it 22-21. And Quincy High School was trailing, I do believe, 21-14 at last count. If you've got an update on that one, 217-473-5151. Quincy started at 3 o'clock today, so they'll get done a little quicker than us.
You can tell it's different times than not so long ago when you can say, send me a text in Hardin.
Yeah, I've got Verizon now. You can actually get a text in Hardin. AT&T and US Cellular, well, Principal Houston said, I got nothing, so I put my hotspot on and said, here, hook up to my phone, big dog. He might be switching the first of the week.
Big key drive to start the second half. Can Camp Point Central sustain something and get a 2-score lead? Can Calhoun get a quick stop and get some of that momentum headed back their direction?
Camp Point Central has not punted in the game, and Calhoun has punted once, and it wasn't a very good one for as good as the kicking team on both sides is. And Friedel will come out there to kick the ball off as we get ready for the third quarter. Anything is possible, and the Panthers put a little different front line up there than most people do.
Thanks to our sideline crew and John and Tim manning our camera there. Jacob up top of the press box here today. Bob Ray helping us spot some tackles on both sides. Jack's alongside with his fingers and toes active at work on the stats side, and I just sit here and talk to myself.
Marco Rodriguez and Nate Peters at the 5-yard line to receive the kick, Charlie.
Well, they kicked it.
Friedel's going to kick this one into the end zone. If I had a wager to place on this,
he can do it.
Not allowed to do that much, but I would have lost. As Rodriguez will hand it off to Peters on the return. Peters at around the 15, spun around and taken down near the 19-yard line. And good coverage by Calhoun on the kick-off team to stop Camp Point Central from getting much of a return there. 11:49 to play in this third quarter. They'll start at the 19-yard line.
Thank you to the Calhoun folks for the Ethernet Wi-Fi line. Not really Wi-Fi, Ethernet line to be able to let us be able to broadcast from here today. And their crew doing a great job hosting this playoff game as they always do.
Camp Point Central with a 1st and 10 from their own 19-yard line to start this third quarter.
Who's at fullback? That'll be my curiosity. Is it Bush or is it Niekamp?
It is Bush. Is it Niekamp? It is.
Niekamp.
I can't tell. It's a long way away. It looks like Niekamp to me from this angle. They'll put Rigg in motion. They'll hand it off back on the near side and then swallow it up as Peters back there by Luke Brannon on the stop at the 16-yard line. A loss of 3 on the play. And it's 2nd and 13 for Camp Point Central.
Brandon took the blocker and Peters and just swallowed them up there. He looked like the big monster with the claw that time.
Brandon
is a 3-yard loss, Charlie.
Yeah, 6'3", 225 pounds and a senior. Also plays guard on the offensive side for this Calhoun Warrior squad. How about second? 2nd and 13. Easy for me to say.
Got Longnecker on the other side of that defensive line.
There's some big guys. Now we're going to see 2 receivers get split out wide to the right-hand side here for Camp Point Central. They'll hand it off to Rigg, running to the opposite side of the field. He is going to be pushed out of bounds here. near the 23-yard line, I believe, is where they'll set it. That's a 7-yard pickup on the play. And they'll bring up a 3rd down and 6.
Second carry for Curtis Rigg on the day for 10 yards. Panthers with 7 first downs. Calhoun with 6.
Is there okay, I thought there was a penalty the way they were coming back there. There's not. It's 3rd and 6. 10:57 to play in this third as the clock is stopped as the man went out of bounds with Rigg. Central has gone to the air twice today, once with Ginnenbacher throwing the ball. See if they go to the air here on this 3rd down and 6. Put a man in motion. They'll keep it with Ginnenbacher along the left-hand side. Breaks a tackle, spun forward. He's got the first down. That extra spin at the end gains the yardage up to the 30-yard line. Needed 6, gained 7 on a 1st and 10 for the Central Panthers.
He got spun around that time, but he's so strong he got the shoulders squared up and got back across and get that first down. Boy, that was a big run. My goodness.
Well, sometimes, Bob, when it comes time to making the big plays, you give it to your big-time playmakers, and Elijah Ginnenbacher has proven to be a guy that you can count on.
Well, there's 2 prior times that hadn't turned into very much, but it's good for us at that time it did.
A little more of a full house backfield this time as Ginnenbacher is under center. Hands it off here to Peters. Peters taken down after about a yard gain on the play to the 31. 2nd and 9.
Nate Peters, 3 runs, 2 yards in the day. He hadn't been bottled up when he's been healthy at all this season like that.
He got injured in the game in week 2 here.
Right about where Aaron Elmore, the head coach, is Elijah Ginnenbacher fell on his ankle.
2nd and 9 here. Panthers with the double wing formation as Ginnenbacher is under center. Takes the snap, runs it right up the middle himself, just trying to bully his way forward. Does to the 33-yard line, another 2-yard pickup, and it'll be a 3rd down and 6.
9:40 third quarter action, 7-0 Panthers. Looked like they were going to be punting, which is Ginnenbacher's job also. They were able to get the first down on a 3rd and long the last time, but they're facing it again here, and Calhoun's got those 2 big defensive ends in Longnecker and Brandon that really bottle things up, and the guys in the middle do a great job too.
Neither team really loves this type of situation, though. A 3rd and 6. Ginnenbacher puts a man in motion, going to pitch it outside. That is to Niekamp. Niekamp looking for the corner. He is still fighting for yardage, but ran out of bounds out near the 36-yard line. Gains 3 on the play, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I think they'll be doing their punting today. They went for the 4th down on the short in the first half, but they will not do that here.
4th and it is a solid 4 yards to go here.
Do they send Friedel back? Because he would be dangerous back there.
It is Pat Friedel back to receive the punt. Ginnenbacher will punt from around his own 26-yard line. Of course, a big fake punt a year ago was a big play in this game in the 2nd round matchup. Here it is a fake, and they'll pass it downfield, and there it is again. Completed on the run right up the middle. Who we got, Bob? Is that Peters?
I think Colin Bachhold,
Yep,
I'm going to say.
Bachhold to the 30-yard line, and again, they pull the rabbit out of the hat on the fake punt and pick up big yardage there, Jack. A 34-yard pass to Bachhold.
Call it 35.
And a 1st and 10.
Boy, Elijah took about 3 steps. I thought he was going to do a rugby kick, and I thought, well, he's going to run it, and he stops and throws a dime to Colin Bachhold wide open down midfield.
And Bachhold's a freshman, folks.
Zipped it to him, though. I mean, a good ball.
And he was wide open.
Again, that's twice Camp Point Central has done some things that conventionally they would not do.
9th first down.
That's the respect they have for this opponent.
Dylan Mound at the quarterback spot.
Hands it off this time to Ginnenbacher in the backfield. And Ginnenbacher is going to take it down near the 28. 3-yard pickup on the play.
The first time we've seen, sorry, Charlie, first time we've seen Dylan in the backfield to take the snap, and that leaves Niekamp and Elijah in the backfield to carry the ball or block.
Not surprised to see that, though. You saw him a lot of the 2-point conversions, and it worked pretty smoothly, so, why not try it more in the open field?
St. Rita leads Quincy 28-14 with 7 minutes left in the 3rd quarter of their contest.
Dylan's back at the quarterback spot here, Charlie. Just maybe a change of pace, huh?
He's got to take care of the ball. He had trouble in week 2 here with that.
It was a long time ago now. He takes the snap. He'll hand it off to the deep back. That is Ginnenbacher again, and he's rumbling, stumbling down near the 21-yard line. A pickup on the play, close to the 1st down. They'll mark him just short of that and call it a 6-yard gain, and it's 3rd and a yard to go.
7:40 and counting, third quarter action. This has been a quick one under the lights here with the 4 o'clock start. Beautiful day for football, and it's still hovering around 45, 50 degrees.
Nice change of pace here on the last few plays for the Panthers. We were kind of stalling out at 3rd and 6.
Calhoun will try to tackle the ball here. You can bet on that.
Mallon is under center. The junior quarterback takes the snap, hands it off to the deep back along the left-hand side. Ginnenbacher looking for running room, has the first down as he pushes the pile forward. Inside the 20, down near the 18-yard line. 4-yard pickup on the first and 10 for Camp Point Central.
37 yards, 10 carries, 10th first down. And, you know, if you haven't had to tackle Elijah Ginnenbacher from the fullback position, it's different than it is from the quarterback position.
Now we're switching it up here. Elijah's back to the quarterback spot, but, man, kudos to Dylan Mountain coming off the bench in the third quarter for 3 big plays during this drive.
Under 7 minutes to play in the third, and a 7-0 Camp Point Central lead on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard. Double wing formation for Camp Point Central as Ginnenbacher is under center. Puts a man in motion, will hand it off to the motion man in Peters. Looking for a cutback, and there's nothing there. There's the Warrior defense once again to smother it up and take him down for a short gain.
That time the blockers just could not get rid of the Calhoun players, and they were overloaded there, and Peters ran into 2.
1 yard gain on the play by Peters. 2nd and 9 from the 17.
They've run one counter play that I remember on the day, and that's when Brandon swallowed that one up on the other end of the field.
This drive started at their own 19 with 11:49 to play in the quarter. They're down to the Calhoun 17. Calhoun defense looking to try one of those bend but not break type of stops here. They need this stop. Single receiver to the right-hand side. They'll pitch it out to Bush. Bush trying to get a block out in front. Cuts it back, spun around, and taken down for another 1 yard gain to the 16-yard line. And again, one of those third and longer situations for this Central offense.
What a job by the Calhoun defense there. They are just coming up 11 men deep. And when I say 11 men deep, you know what that could cause here is a little play action.
It is third down, and it's a long 8 yards to go with under 5:30 to play in this third.
16-yard line.
Sorry, Jag. Caden Niekamp came in for Connor to the fullback spot.
As the quarterback is Ginnenbacher under center. He puts a man in motion and Rigg. Fakes the handoff. Is back to pass. Feels some pressure. Throws. It is going to be nearly intercepted by Friedel. Goes between his hands and falls incomplete. And it's 4th and 8.
Who are they trying to find there? Caden Niekamp?
I think Jasper Flesser was there as well as Bachholt.
Do you think about the kick now? They will. Here comes Marco Rodriguez. Rodriguez to attempt one of the bigger kicks in his career, the 5'6", 135-pound junior. He'll set the block down around the 23-yard line?
Yep, 33-yard kick if he can make it. Ginnenbacher the holder.
Looking for a good snap first. It's a little high, but Rodriguez puts his boot into this one. It's deep enough, and it is good.
Nice job, Marco.
Rodriguez with a 33-yard field goal to give Camp Point Central the lead, 10-0 on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard. 5:08 to play in the third on Central Illinois Sports.
When you're ready to restock your pantry, go to Kay's Family Food in Camp Point, Illinois. Open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. through 8 p.m. Be proud, Camp Point area. Kay's Family Food is the only locally owned grocery store in Adams County outside Quincy. Delicious donuts daily, great lunch specials, fresh cut meats, fresh produce. Kay's Family Food are committed to the area and the school. When you support your local store, they can support you and your school and community. When you need to restock, think of Kay's Family Food, 593-6814.
We talked about the kicking game for both of these teams being really solid. Doesn't happen always in the 1A side of things, but Marco Rodriguez with a 33-yard field goal with 5:08 to play in the third quarter to give Camp Point Central a 10-0 lead.
Years ago, 1A, you'd never see a kicker. Boy, is it important in these days, isn't it?
I mean, Friedel's good from about 45.
Yeah.
You can boom it, man.
And the two guys back for the Warriors could run one back here, too.
5:08 to play in the third.
Rodriguez has a big opening in the middle of the field there. Will he choose that one to kick it to?
Camp Point Central doesn't have a problem taking a chance on the kicking game every once in a while. Let's see if they would here. Rodriguez, as they've not faked the onside yet today out of the huddle like they usually do. He'll kick this one high, but not extremely deep. It's going to go right again to Will Lorton. Lorton will come up and look for running room and is going to dive down Takes a business decision that time.
Yeah,
As he saw
Elijah Gittebacher made a pleasant introduction there.
Yeah. And that ball's going to be right at the 35-yard line for Calhoun with 5 minutes, 3 seconds to play in the third.
Third time they've started at the 35-yard line today.
Their first possession of the second half, right, Charlie?
Correct. As we talked about, you could be limited to 2, maybe 3 possessions offensively in the second half.
This is their 4th possession of the ball game.
Double wing formation as Snyder's will set up under center. I think they give it to Longnecker. I think they need a heavier dose of him. Instead, they keep it with the quarterback and Snyder's around the edge. He'll take it out near the 37-yard line. Picks up a couple on the play.
Zach Weir with a stop. Zach's assignment must be quarterback. Zach's been in a lot of good plays this afternoon.
Yeah, and Peters has kind of been caught between the pitch and the quarterback on the other side.
Friedel comes off the field, as does Webster, as the squad will bring Eilerman onto the field. He's a dynamic player for this squad. The sophomore, 6'2", 155-pounder.
I don't know who number 4 is, but we don't have that on our program.
We'll have to see. He's on the sideline, or where do you see him?
Just came off the field.
Under center is Snyder's. Puts a man in motion. He is back to pass. Looking left the entire time. Now has some pressure. Steps up to avoid the rush. Breaks a tackle and is taken down near the 39-yard line on the QB scramble. A 2-yard pickup, and it's 3rd and 6.
Nathan Post makes that stop. Jace Wallace with the pressure from the inside.
3rd down and 6 yards to go for the Warriors now, with under 4 minutes to play in this third quarter.
Asked Mr. Longnecker who 4 is.
J.D. Gress. All right, it's 3rd down and 6 here. Snyder's puts a man in motion in Friedel. He will hand it off to the fullback and a Longnecker, and he's into the open field. Across the 50-yard line, taken down in Camp Point territory to the 47-yard line. 14-yard pickup on the play, and I'm telling you, Jack, the Warriors need a stronger dose of Connor Longnecker right now.
Connor Longnecker knew what his team needed. He got outside and just ran away from people. He's much faster than people realize. That is their 7th first down, and that's a big one right there.
Quick to the line of scrimmage here is Calhoun. 3:17 and counting in the third, as Snyder's will be under center once again. Calls the line set. Puts Webster in motion. Keeper this time. Pitch out to Webster. Webster breaks a tackle, but is then spun backwards. Slow whistle this time. They'll give him forward progress to right at the 45-yard line. A 2-yard pickup on the play for the Warriors, and it's 2nd down and 8.
Connor Longnecker, 63 yards and 9 carries. Webster, 11 yards on 6 carries today. Nice pitch by the quarterback, though. Man, he does a nice job on that.
There were times this season, though, like against Greenfield, that Longnecker carried the ball like 33 times.
40 against Ralph.
And I'm just telling you, like, this is a kid that can eat the clock like that. Now, I know you're down a couple of scores here, but with the type of kickers you have, I don't know. I just think that you need a heavier dose of him, and I'm not questioning anything, but he's a kid that can make things happen in a hurry.
He's been your starter back there all 4 years.
They will send Snyder's back to pass. Looking downfield, now rushed out of the pocket. He'll take off. He's got some running room down the far sideline. Dives forward and met with a big collision about a yard shy of the first down. 7-yard pickup on the play to around the 38-yard line, and it's 3rd and 1.
Nate Peters comes up from his cornerback spot, but we have to give credit here to Jace Wallace, Cale Niekamp, Colton Cooley, who are guarding the receivers downfield, forced the quarterback into his third option.
3rd and a yard to go with less than 2 minutes to play in the third, and 4 down territory from the 38-yard line. Snyder's the quarterback, is under center. Puts a man in motion in Friedel. They'll hand it off to Longnecker. He's got the first down and more. Wants to get into the open field and find a defensive back, and he does. Down to the 29-yard line. A 9-yard pickup on the play by Connor Longnecker, and it's 1st and 10 for the Calhoun Warriors.
You know, Charlie, he's getting those yards, not just straight up the middle. He's getting to the outside of the linebacker spot to pick up most of his yards.
No huddle. Brandon doing the blocking on that side, too.
1st and 10 from the 29 as Calhoun's on the move here. They'll hand it off. No, they'll keep it with the quarterback in Snyder's. He'll be taken down after a short gain on the play near the 26.
Elijah comes up from his linebacker spot, making a good tackle.
3-yard gain on the play to bring up a 2nd and 7 for Calhoun. Glad you're joining us this evening on Central Illinois Sports. Just over a minute to play in the third, and a 10-0 lead as it is at the moment for the Central Panthers on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard. Snyder's will be under center once again on the 2nd and 7. Now comes out and makes some adjustments to the offensive line. The senior quarterback hands it off to Longnecker, puts his foot on the ground, cuts back up the middle, still on his feet, fighting forward, point away, 10, 5, and a touchdown, Connor Longnecker. Longnecker takes it in from 26 yards out, and the Calhoun Warriors are on the board.
What a run by Longnecker. He just ran through tackle after tackle, and those linemen cannot stop him.
He ran like a man possessed that time, Jack. 26 yards to pay dirt with 41 seconds to play in the third. And here comes Friedel for the extra point attempt.
41 seconds left.
Trying to make it a 3-point game here. A big kick by Rodriguez, but I don't think you can understate how big of a stop it was for the Calhoun defense to only give up 3 and not a touchdown.
Agreed.
High snap, hold down, kick is up. It is good to make it a 10-7 score. 41 seconds to play in the third. We've got a ball game. Hope you'll stay tuned on Central Illinois Sports.
Helena Agri, Camp Point, Illinois, is a proud sponsor of the broadcast of Central Illinois Athletics. For all your seed, fertilizer, and chemical needs, the experts at Helena Agri, Brian Obert, Dustin Roskamp, and Matt Hughes, are the guys to call. Let them show you the best seed, fertilizer, and ag chemicals to make your farming operation a success. Call 217-593-7761. That's 593-7761 for Helena Agri of Camp Point.
41 seconds to play in the third. It is a 10-7 lead for Camp Point Central, but Calhoun with the big answer to get their first score of the contest on a 26-yard run by Connor Longnecker with 41 seconds to play in this third quarter.
Long way from being over here, folks. Quite a ball game. What a job by these two teams.
As we expected it to be, as it was in week 2, as it was both times these teams met up a year ago. Calhoun, of course, played Camp Point Central closer than anyone en route to their state championship run a season ago. Looking to knock them off this time and punch their tickets into the semifinals. Find themselves down by 3 as Frito will put his foot into this one. Booming kick. It'll be taken by Peters at around the 10-yard line. Fakes the reverse this time. Now looks for an outside cut. He's got some running room up across the 35 and is taken down to the 40. Peters with that extra burst of speed puts Camp Point Central in good starting position on the offensive drive here with 32 seconds to play in the third as he's up to the 40-yard line.
Nate got the extra block he needed this time to spring it around the edge, Charlie.
65 yards on that scoring drive, and how many plays was that, Charlie?
Well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plays that time. And 32 seconds to play in the third. Very well could be the final play of the third quarter. Under center is Kinnenbacher. Bush is the fullback in the backfield. Elijah Kinnenbacher takes the snap, keeps it himself, running right up the middle on the old brotherly shove that time as they come out in Philadelphia. Up to the 43-yard line, 3-yard pickup on the play to bring up a 2nd and 7, and that will take us to the end of the third quarter as the final seconds tick off here at Hardin. Quite a contest we have brewing here. It's a 10-7 lead for the Camp Point Central Panthers over the Calhoun Warriors. We'll have fourth quarter action in this state quarterfinal contest next on Central Illinois Sports.
Stotzi Automotive and Tire, located at 201 Adams Street in Camp Point, Illinois, is your local automotive repair shop. Whether you need an oil change, brake job, alignment, engine repair, or new tires, Stotzi Automotive is here with honest and competitive pricing. Call Reagan and his team today to schedule your appointment. 217-740-5010. That's 217-740-5010 for Stotzi Automotive and Tire.
Brian Dickut Trekking, LLC has been in business since 1995. Brian Dickut Trekking offers hauling of liquid and dry fertilizer, grain, rock, feed, lime, with local and long-distance hauling. Brian Dickut Trekking is located at 1878 East 2100 Street, Camp Point. Call them at 217-257-8302. That's 257-8302. Long dumps, short dumps, hoppers, and tanks. When you need it hauled, trust the experts at Brian Dickut Trekking, LLC in Camp Point. They deliver.
Ready to start quarter number 4. 2nd and 7 it will be here for Camp Point Central, leading 10-7 on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard. PCRE, of course, with a solid presence here in Calhoun County, a strong supporter of the community, and there's a lot of folks here watching this game today. Can't see them really along the sideline on the camera angle we have, but they are about 5 deep behind the sideline on the near side. And folks are tense right now as we start quarter number 4. Gittenbacher will take the snap. Design keeper on the right-hand side. Falls forward to the 48-yard line. 5-yard pickup on the play. And that'll be a much more of a 3rd and manageable, about a 3rd and 2 here for the Panthers.
You know, when you looked at the series that Beach team ran in the 3rd quarter, the Panthers had to try a little trickery to take the ball down the field. Connor Longnecker and the Warriors didn't. They used Warrior football and made this a 10-7 ball game. Field goal looming big right now, but so are the stops that Calhoun's made when the Panthers have had the ball inside the 30 a couple of times.
Big play here on 3rd and 2. Ball resting just shy of midfield. Gittenbacher takes the snap, hands it off on the right side to Niekamp. Niekamp is, big pop there right at the end, right at the line of gain, and it looks like it's going to be just short.
Yep, I think he's short.
To the 49.5-yard line, a gain of a yard on the play, and they'll bring up a 4th down, and will we see a measurement? No, they'll say our eyes are good enough for that. I agree. I'm sitting about where they are, right down the line here, and it's 4.5 a yard to go here, and this place gets loud right now. Calhoun looking for a big stop right on the C at center field here at their home turf, and Camp Point Central looking to keep this drive alive.
This is always dangerous.
If Peters and Niekamp and Weir in the backfield, Charlie.
Gittenbacher under center, takes the snap, hands it off to Niekamp, hurdles over a would-be tackler and gets just enough for the 1st down.
He was not going to be stopped that time, was he?
Gained 3 yards on the play, did Caden Niekamp, and it's 1st and 10 for Camp Point Central on a big conversion on 4th down once again. And they've been good on 4th down here today, Bob.
Good lead by Jaden Summy, too. I mean, Caden made a nice hop, but you had to get a couple guys out of the way. This Calhoun defensive front is very strong.
11 first downs for the Panthers, 10 for Calhoun. That's how even this game is.
1st and 10 with 10:15 to play in the contest. Gittenbacher with a double wing formation. A lot of guys up near the box here. That's Mowen actually taking the snap. Hands it off to Gittenbacher. He'll be tackled shy of the 45 to the 46-yard line. A gain of a couple on the play. Call it 3. Bring up a 2nd down and 7.
48 tough yards on 13 carries today for Elijah.
Quite the difference in the stat line he had here a year ago where he ran rampant in that game.
170-some yards probably.
He was a man amongst boys in the postseason last year.
Almost everybody back on that defensive side for Calhoun.
Mowen back in at quarterback now. He'll bring the play to the huddle as the Panthers break out here on the 2nd and 7. And the referee is going to send one of the Calhoun players out of the game here. And I don't know what that's about. That's Talon Cronable. Had a little equipment issue.
Helmet problem, so they're switching helmets.
He says, you with the clean uniform, give me your helmet.
Give me your mouthpiece.
2nd and 7, yeah. Give him whatever it takes to get back in there. Mowen under center. Puts a man in motion. Gives it off to the deep back here. That's Gittenbacher again, trying to push the pile forward. No whistle yet. He'll be taken down near the 42-yard line. That's a pickup of 4 yards on the play. It's 3rd down and 4. Give it 3 yards on the gain, Jack. 3rd and 4 here. This keeps the clock moving, though. There'll be less than 9 minutes to play when this play is run in what you would consider to be 4-down territory.
It depends on this play whether it's 4-down territory, but the thing is that clock moves very quickly with these two teams because the ball's on the ground, and each first down is big.
Elijah and at quarterback, Caden at the fullback.
Gittenbacher under center, takes the snap. He hands it off to Niekamp. Had a steam on the right side, spins, and it's the 1st down.
He's down. That's Niekamp,
That's
right?
Niekamp down to the 36-yard line or so. 6-yard pickup on the play and a 1st and 10. And we said those fullbacks are really hitting the hole hard today for this Camp Point Central squad.
Good second effort by Caden, but I think a lead block by Jace Wallace that time to just give him space for the 1st step.
You talk about this Camp Point Central offensive line. Summy's the only returner from last year, so when they played here in week 2, very, very green was this group. And
they were
really,
babies.
They've really become a solid unit for Brad Dixon and his coaching staff.
Probably 70 pounds more per guy than last year.
6 seconds on the play clock as Ginnenbacher sets up under center. Takes the snap, hands it off to the deep back. That's Niekamp again here. Little scrum there after a short gain to the 34-yard line. 2-yard pickup on the play.
There's some hitting going on out there, boys.
2nd down and 8.
Man, people are getting hit on both sides.
Oh, look, Blair Witch Project's back again. John takes the best times to head down the sideline with the camera. I will give him credit for that, as he can hear the sound of my voice today, and he is thrilled to have that happen. 7:35 and counting in this 4th quarter. I have to say hello to our guys out in the truck as well for all their hard work.
Coach Ray really working the clock here, guys.
2nd and 8. As Ginnenbacher directs some traffic, might have to take a timeout here. Does just get it off. It is
that Nate Peters.
Peters on the carry.
At least from Nate's spot. It didn't look like his number, Charlie.
To around the 30, caught the 29-yard line. Actually made something out of that one on about a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, Nate Peters on the carry. That was a little, not the most smooth takeoff on that play from scrimmage.
No, but he got big yardage compared to where he got hit from the original contact.
Big 3rd down play again here. It's 3rd and 3. 6:50 and counting in this contest. Down to the Calhoun 29-yard line is Camp Point Central right now. Calhoun looking to get a big stop here.
Elijah back to take the snap.
He'll be under center. Peters the wing back on the left-hand side. They put him in motion. They'll keep it with Ginnenbacher along the right side. Has a good hole. Has the first down. Dragging him in with him now. Down near the 15-yard line. 14-yard gain on the play by Ginnenbacher, and it's 1st and 10.
Quincy now trailing 42-14 in the 4th quarter of their contest.
One of the finest collection of talent in Quincy high school football history. Going to see their season come to an end today at Chicago St. Rita. I don't think it mattered, folks. I think Chicago Mount Carmel might have another team this year.
Yep. Sorry, folks, but you have all those teams in your divisions like Montini and others.
Montini? They're in 3A.
Well, I know, but those teams just getting good teams away.
Under 6 minutes left. Ginnenbacher takes a snap to the second back this time, and Peters. Peters with a little room on the right side. Looks like he's down to the 10.
Ginnenbacher helped him with that one.
Good run by Nate. That looked like that might be nothing, but Nate got 4 or 5 out of that, and that's important to keep the drive moving here and the clock turning.
2nd and 5 yards to go here with 5:35 and counting in the ball game.
This is where Calhoun's been able to dig it in.
They said that just inside the 10 this time, Charlie. And the Panthers can get a first down at the 5, right?
Correct.
See the Calhoun defensive line. They're waiting for Camp Point to come to the line. They're ready to make a big play here. If you're Calhoun, if you could get a turnover here, it would be huge. 2nd and 5. Ginnenbacher under center. He'll keep it himself along the right-hand side. Hurdles over the pile, dives to the 5, call it the 4-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal at the 4.
First down, the 14th of the ball game. They started on their own 40, and they've went 55 of that 60 yards they need.
1st down and goal. Ball resting right at the 4-yard line here for Camp Point Central with under 5 minutes left.
The exact area where Calhoun scored with 2.4 seconds left in week 2 to beat the Panthers.
We'll see if the Panthers can finish the drive. We have Nate, Connor, Zach, I think.
Under center is Ginnenbacher. Puts Peters in motion. Keeps it himself along the right side. Puts his shoulder down and he's in for the Camp Point Central touchdown. At the 4:32 mark of this 4th quarter, as Ginnenbacher follows the blockers along the right side to give the Panthers the 16-7 lead.
I think one thing that's emerged lately, Charlie, is Zach Weir as this power blocker, much like Connor Griffin last year. Zach leading the way there behind. Who's on the far side? Oh, Jack Weiss is on the right side, as well as Braden Hummer. Nice job.
Extra point attempt here by Marco Rodriguez to try to make it a 10-point game with 4 minutes, 32 seconds left. On the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard. Hold down, kick up. Kick looks to be good and isn't. It's no good. All right, missed the upright just to the left. 4:32 to play. It's 16-7 the lead for Camp Point Central.
Welcome to Douglas Automotive and Tire, your expert truck and car repair center in Pittsfield, Illinois. We provide full service from oil changes to new tires and everything in between. Contact us today to schedule service. We're located at 303 West Jefferson Street in Pittsfield, Illinois. Call 217-922-0064. That's 217-922-0064. Britton and the gang know cars, and if you need repairs, call Douglas Automotive today for all your repairs.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
4:32 to play, 16-7 the lead for Camp Point Central on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard. Extra point was no good, but a drive that started at their own 40-yard line took exactly, what did you say, 8 minutes off the clock?
8 minutes exactly, and you told us 8 plays went 10 plays went 60
plays.
yards. 13 plays.
I told you 13. Yeah. You just didn't listen.
I just kept making it up. Well, 6 and 7's 13, isn't it?
Yeah, that's sort of good.
Field goal's still pretty big right now. Marco with an interesting lineup right here, kids.
He's off to the right-hand side of the ball and will... A little pop-up kick headed toward the sideline. Warriors going to let it bounce. It rolls dead at the 26-yard line. Picking it up on the run here is Drew Wallendorf trying to make a miss and will be spun down near the 33. To the 33-yard line with 4:25 left in this contest. Calhoun trailing by 9. We said during the break, got to be all go here if you're Calhoun. You can't take a lot of time.
Exactly the type of game we thought it would be. Big defensive plays by both teams. That field goal looming strong here because without it, it'd be a 6-point game. Right now, it's a 9-point game. But that extra point could be important, too.
1st and 10 for the Warriors. All 3 timeouts on both sides here. They'll split a single man out to the right-hand side and Rodney Johnson. Snyders will be under center. Put a man in motion from the right to the left. Back to pass, looking to set up a screen pass in and out of the hands of Friedel and had some running room out in front.
That was a nice design play by the Warriors. We hadn't seen that all day, but he had a lot of space.
It was. Might have had offensive line way downfield, but I'm not so sure that wouldn't have been a penalty had it been completed.
And I will tell you that that's Snyder's first pass for him to attempt today because the other ones have come from Patrick Friedel on the day.
2nd and 10.
4 Warriors on and 4 Warriors off as we change up personnel, 2nd and 10. But they did stop the clock, Charlie. We're playing not only against the Warriors, but also the clock.
Clock big at this time of a game in a tight contest like this. Single receiver to the right-hand side. In tight here. Back to passes Snyders again. Now he'll make the man miss in the backfield. Step up, looking for some running room now as he's going to tuck it and go. Has some open field out in front of him across the 40-yard line. Trying to get to the sideline and is hit there near the 42 by Peters making the final stop. A gain on the play of 9 yards, and it's 3rd and a yard to go here.
Jasper Flesser measured that close. I mean, this is a good quarterback until the very, very last moment. He could have pitched it or thrown it, so Jasper did a nice job of containment.
Good job by the defensive line getting him out of the pocket.
Snyders is under center this time. Puts a man in motion. He will hand it off to Longnecker. Longnecker fighting for yardage here. He's got the first down, needed 1, picked up 2, and has the first down for the Calhoun Warriors.
100 yards on the day for Connor Longnecker on 12 carries. Their all-time leading rusher in his career as he passed Friedel from back in the early 80s.
2 receivers to the left-hand side now as Snyders will be in the pistol. He's back to pass. Has some time, wings it out there along the left-hand side, a little bit short of the intended receiver, and Will Lorden stops the clock, brings up a 2nd and 10 with 3:27 left.
Charlie, it's worth noting while we have this break, about every play that's a bang-bang power play in the middle, Connor Longnecker gets up, Caden Niekamp gets up. They're helping each other up, tapping each other on the helmet. A lot of talented players with good sportsmanship today.
2nd and 10. Back to the double wing with under center in Snyders. Snyders puts a man in motion. He'll give it off to Longnecker. Longnecker breaking into the open. Has the first down and more. 40-yard line, 35-30. Down the far sideline. He'll bounce out of bounds near the 30. Check that, 24-yard line.
Making that look easy, doesn't he, Charlie?
42-yard run that time to the 24. And a 1st and 10. And how about Connor Longnecker with a big-time play when Calhoun really needed one with 3:18 left.
What a burst of speed by him.
Went out of bounds, so that stopped the clock as well. They'll give it off again. No, Snyders will keep it along the left side on the quarterback keeper. He dives. He's toward the sticks this time. Might be just shy. Let's see where they mark the ball. Up to the, 16-yard line. Gain 9 on the play, 2nd and 1.
Clock still running.
2:57 and ticking down here in this 4th quarter. Snyders puts a man in motion, gives it off to Longnecker. Ball might have come out there at the last second. Did Camp Point Central get it? There is a fumble on the field, and who recovered it? The referee tells us it's Camp Point Central.
Oh my goodness. Oh my.
A botched handoff there on the exchange, and a fumble stops the drive for Calhoun with 2:45 to play.
Second turnover of the ball game, 1 on an interception, 1 on a fumble on the day. Those are the only 2. And you see the Calhoun shoulders drop a little bit here. And we're just say a little prayer for these kids in the positive here. Now the Panthers have got to take care of the football. 3 timeouts left for Calhoun, down by 9.
2 takeaways are the difference in this game right now. 1 inside the 5, 1 as Calhoun was putting together maybe their finest drive of the afternoon and evening.
We didn't see who got that fumble. Jace Wallace at the bottom of the pile, as was Caden Niekamp.
That ball just never got to Longnecker. It was just not a clean exchange that time. Ginnenbacher is under center for the Panthers. He will hand it off along the right-hand side. Looks like that's Niekamp on the run. Up to the 20-yard line on the play. A gain of 5 yards. And Camp Point Central has dominated the time of possession here in the second half. 2:20 and counting. If you're Calhoun, you've got 3 timeouts left. When do you start using them?
I think I'd have used them right now. I think you got to use them now and keep as much clock as you can.
Keep the clock. I mean, you're looking for a bad snap, botched something to get a little momentum headed back your way as Niekamp will get it in on the right-hand side. Stood up and pushes the pile forward. Shy of the first down, and now we'll see a timeout called. As he's got it out near the 23-yard line, 3-yard pickup. It'll be a 3rd and 2 after this timeout taken by the Calhoun Warriors. Timeout on the field, local computer sales and service. Hey, folks, if you're in the need, call Adams Experts, 217-214-3423.
I have to speak to you about something that is concerning me. Heard you and your mother talking about this Arlo fella.
You're dating someone?
Yeah.
Dad, Arlo's the name of the new security cameras that we got from our service provider. Arlo's not a boy.
Oh, boy.
Ah, not a boy. Apparently, we just learned that it's a camera named after a boy. Why don't you name it Peter?
Calhoun takes the timeout with 1:57 to play. They have 2 remaining, and Camp Point Central has a 3rd down and about 2 yards to go from their own 19-yard line.
Caden's at the fullback, Elijah at the quarterback.
23-yard line.
Nate Peters, Zach Weir also in our backfield.
Ginnenbacher will set up under center, take the snap. Handed it off to the deep
No,
back.
he kept it,
I think he gave it up, didn't he? Who's running with the ball? Look at this. Just dragging him along, trying to get the ball out, and just never could. I mean, just a devastating run for Caden Niekamp that time out of the backfield to the 41-yard line, an 18-yard pickup, dragging guys with him on his arms, on the ball, and no one could rip it out of the hands of Caden Niekamp, the honorable mention All-Stater.
Yeah, 16th first down, and if he's honorable mention, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to play football against the guys that made the first team.
Charlie, I just have to commend Elijah Ginnenbacher for his calmness and patience today to run this clock. We've had a lot of possession, but watch Elijah here without hesitation, taking a snap under 5 seconds again.
Under center is Ginnenbacher. Puts a man in motion, hands it off up the middle. Is this Bush this time? As we'll see a timeout taken by Calhoun on this play. Who comes off the pile, guys? That is Niekamp on the run. He'll pick up a couple of yards on the play, and we get an Adams Fiber timeout for the fastest internet around that doesn't buffer no matter what life throws at you. It's our friends at Adams Fiber. FollowTheFiber.net as Calhoun takes the timeout. They've got one remaining with 1 minute, 12 seconds left of the contest, down 16-7.
85 yards for Niekamp on the day now.
That's 72 seconds, Charlie, and we're going to run one play that's going to take about 8, and then we'll run for 40, so we do need a first down here.
Your Camp Point Central still have to move the sticks without a chance to give it back to Calhoun. If they would give it back, would not be much time left at all in this contest, and the Warriors down to one timeout. 7-0 was the lead at halftime. Central led 10-0 on a field goal by Marco Rodriguez. Calhoun then drove the ball, right down the field. They were driving again, but a big fumble on the exchange between the quarterback and the fullback, and they'll have to send the center and Summy out of the game here. It says helmet came off, so they'll make him sit out, even though there was a timeout.
How big is this to have a different center here?
And who's come in? I can't tell. He's down there, though. Didn't get to practice this much on the sideline. Ginnenbacher, the quarterback, tries the hard count. Would Camp Point?
They could call the timeout and bring Summy back in the game.
Surprised he had to come out with the timeout in between. Ginnenbacher will fumble the snap. Ball is on the ground. Who's got it here? To the 44-yard line. Calhoun signaling they have it. And the official says it's Camp Point Central football. And it's third down. Clock, once they get it set, will start moving again as they were trying to determine where the ball carrier was.
They're stopping the clock here.
So Calhoun will call their final timeout on the Adams Fiber timeout.
I think Connor Holman came in to snap the ball, did he not, a freshman?
Kind of looked that way. That's what I was going to call too, but I wasn't for sure on that. But either way, it was a big play. It was a fumble, and Camp Point Central nearly gave it back there with 1:05 left.
We're going to reset some time, I think, Charlie.
See what gets...
That was the Calhoun's third timeout, correct?
Calhoun is now out of timeouts. 1:08 showing on the clock right now.
68 seconds. We'll run a play on third down. That'll take about 8. That'll leave us 60. The play clock's 40, so if we do nothing, there'll be 20 seconds left on the clock.
Hope you stay tuned for the Logan Ag postgame show. We want to give accolades to players on both sides at the end of this game. We'll name our players of the game. It'll be multiples on both sides, guaranteed. What a football game we have experienced here in the Kingdom of Calhoun today.
Minute and 8 seconds left. As they don't make an adjustment on the clock, they'll say that it was already stopped due to the fumble. A little traffic exiting the fairgrounds now as some folks trying to get an early exit. Of course, hopefully they're headed to the gym for the celebration for the Lady Warrior volleyball team. Under center is Ginnenbacher. He'll hand it off to Peters along the right-hand side. Tries to get the corner, breaks a tackle. He's got the first down. He could just go down here, but he's still on his feet at the 40. Inside the 40 to the Calhoun 36-yard line. A gain on the play of 9 on one side, 14 to the other, 23, Jack, and a first and 10, and that'll do it.
Good job by Nate Peters. You know, he didn't get to play the full game here in week 2. Worked hard to get back and healthy, and the last play of the game for our senior, Nate Peters, makes a big first down gain to ice the contest.
And now victory formation for the Camp Point Central offense, and another trip to a semifinal, the game that at one point in Camp Point Central history seemed like it may never, ever happen. And they're headed back yet again and still alive as the defending Class 1A state champion. They'll take on Belleville Althoff in the semifinals at Belleville a week from today, and we'll have that contest for you here on Central Illinois Sports. Calhoun finishes their fantastic season with a record of 10-2 on the year, and nothing to hang your head about if you're the Calhoun Warriors squad. A great season, just a couple of big plays made by the Camp Point Central defense that helped determine the outcome in this contest, as the two teams will meet at the 50-yard line to shake hands, and a lot of good sportsmanship between these two teams. As you can see, a lot of mutual respect in a dandy contest here in this quarterfinal.
Charlie, you don't see it very often, Charlie. That's all starters for both teams. Heavy congratulations right at midfield. A lot of respect, you're right.
16-7 the final here. Camp Point Central with a victory. We head to the Logan Ag postgame show with final stats. We'll also name our player of the game next.
At Logan Agri-Service, we understand your success starts from the ground up. That's why we've been your trusted partner in agriculture since 1962. From top quality seed and cover crops to fertilizer, crop protection chemicals, and petroleum products, we have you covered. At Logan Ag, we take pride in providing you quality products at competitive prices with service that exceeds expectations. Call us today at 1-800-LOGAN-AG or visit loganag.com.
The caring and experienced professionals at Hamilton Funeral Homes are here to support you through this difficult time. We offer a range of personalized services to suit your family's wishes and requirements. You can count on us to help you plan a personal, lasting tribute to your loved one, and we'll carefully guide you through the many decisions that must be made during this challenging time. You're welcome to call us at any time of the day, any day of the week. Visit our funeral home in person or on the web at hamiltonfuneralhome.com. Call 217-593-6517. When it comes to financial planning, most financial companies focus on your income. At Northwestern Mutual, we focus on your outcome. That's why we know what it takes to succeed both on your balance sheet and in your life. It takes the right financial partner who looks at where you are now and where you want to go and design a financial plan to take you there so you can achieve the life you're after today and every day after. Focus on your financial outcome with Northwestern Mutual. Contact Sheila Davidsmeyer today. Her office is located at 311 West Washington in Pittsfield, Illinois, or visit SheilaDavidsmeyer.nm.com. The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
As we welcome you back on the Logan Ag post-game show, final of this contest, a 16-7 win for the Camp Point Central Panthers over the Calhoun Warriors. Camp Point Central moves to 11-1 on the season. They head to the state semifinals. And, Jack, you look out on the field right now, and there's two very different huddles. There's the Camp Point Central huddle with a lot of excitement and Brad Dixon, kind of talking his team up. And then if you're Calhoun and Coach Aaron Elmore, a lot of the community out on the field surrounding this team as well. It's always tough because you never expect it to be your last game of the season, and especially with a senior-laden group like this for Calhoun, there's a lot of things to say in that huddle that, might not be what you were expecting to have to say after this game, but still a lot to be proud of for the Warriors.
My goodness, and what a second half of football we had. We had one score in the first half at the 4:31 mark of the first quarter, 4-yard run by Caden Niekamp. Marco Rodriguez good on the kick, 7-0 Panthers. That's how we would go into halftime. Third quarter, Marco Rodriguez on a 33-yard field goal with 5:08 left in the third made it 10-0. Calhoun would answer with 41 seconds left third quarter, 26-yard run by Connor Longnecker. Friedel kick was good, and all of a sudden it was 10-7. Then Elijah Ginnenbacher would go 4 yards out, 4:32 left after some big plays. Kick was no good. Final in the game, 16-7, and that's our final for the day. When you hear these statistics, I think you'll find them to be very interesting. Calhoun with 34 rushes on the day, 226 total yards, led by All-Stater Connor Longnecker with 142 yards on 13 carries. 6 carries for Jack Webster for 11 yards, 14 carries for the quarterback Jacob Snyder, 67 yards, 1 carry for Drew Wallendorf for 6 yards. They were 0 for 2 passing, 1 penalty of 10 yards. They had 1 interception in the game, so their total 226 total yards on the day. The Panthers would rush 36 times for 175 yards, pass 2 for 4 for 48 yards. That is 223 total yards, 3 yards difference between the two teams. Ginnenbacher 3 for 3 on the day. Eichen was 0 for 1. So you actually saw 3 for 4 passing on the day, 5 yards in penalties. 85 yards for Caden Niekamp on the day on 14 carries. Elijah Ginnenbacher would carry the ball 19 times for 76 yards. Nate Peters, Connor Bush, 28 yards in 6 carries on the day. Nate Peters carried the ball 7 times for 40 yards, that big 23-yarder. And Curtis Rigg would carry the ball 2 times for 10 total yards for the Panthers. Dylan Mound came in, did a great job when he had to get Ginnenbacher free. But Elijah Ginnenbacher and Caden Niekamp were the guys in the backfield running the ball that caused ball control, and they were able to hang on. A fumble and an interception by Calhoun on the day. Big difference in this one.
Time to name our player of the game, presented by Edward Jones Financial Advisor Derek Harris. Financial investments are important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, parents, and mentors. Derek Harris, your Edward Jones Financial Advisor, understands this, and that's why Derek Harris is a proud sponsor of the player of the game on Central Illinois Sports. And you can talk about a lot of different guys in this one, Jack, but I think it's hard not to look at Elijah Ginnenbacher. Look at what they have asked him to do for this team. Position change, fake punt that was well executed. Bob talked about coming in with poise and taking those snaps with the play clock running down in big moments of the fourth quarter. I think Elijah Ginnenbacher is going to be our player of the game, presented by Edward Jones Financial Advisor Derek Harris. That's going to do it from Calhoun High School as the Camp Point Central Panthers improve to 11-1. They're headed to the state semifinals, where they'll take on Belleville Althoff a week from today. We'll have the time for that kickoff for you, I'm sure, later this evening or tomorrow, and we'll have all the coverage for you live on Central Illinois Sports. For John Hull, Tim Hull, Jake Hull, Jack Hull, and Bob Ray, who we may change his last name if it's just rolls off the tongue easier.
He's married to a Hull.
I'm Charlie Hull, thanking you for joining us on another Central Illinois Sports presentation.